right, gentlemen, let's go ahead and dive into session 12 of Trouble in Theondir. In the previous session, we began in a secret chamber in the cellar of the In Vino Veritas, just as a cloud of arrows launched by a group of warriors from the Knot was beginning to rain down on our adventurers. The situation looked bleak, with Graywater taking 2 arrows to his shoulder and leg in what seemed to be something of a planned execution. Our heroes, however, were quick to spring into action, casting a fog spell to buy them some time before Bolin would deliver the decisive blow by means of his powerful Radiance of the Dawn. Seeing the writing on the wall, the surviving Knot fled up the stairs and out of the In Vino Veritas, dispersing stealthily into the crowd. Graywater would be saved and healed, and Caroline would quietly pocket the golden amulet dropped by Graywater during the battle. It would not take long before the adventurers were also joined by several soldiers from the Sons of Silas, led by Arid Stildrad, who came in response to the contact of the group initiated through Feuerbrandt's communication cylinder. With the protection and escort of these soldiers, the group began to make its way back to Theondir Keep to report its findings to Maalethon about a planned assassination. Everyone in the group, that is, except for Traego, who would linger a bit in the cellar in order to rummage around for treasure and valuables. This rummaging, however, would lead to tragic consequences. Whether out of hubris or forgetfulness, Traego would set aside his Bigby's hand spell and instead dive headfirst into Graywater's treasure chest. The joy of his first discovery from the first treasure chest was quickly extinguished by the triggered trap in the second, a trap that would leave Traego both poisoned and blinded. A quick message to Bolin and a bit of luck would lead the halfling up the stairs, where he was met by his elven friend. And, like a good friend, Bolin, rather than using any of his clerical healing spells to aid his suffering comrade, decided instead to test out one of his bottles of Theondir Thunder on the unsuspecting and desperate Traego. The good news is that Theondir Thunder cured Traego of his poison and blindness. The bad news, however, was that Traego would be turned into a flailing fire elemental that, though a temporary state of transformation, would nevertheless leave the In Vino Veritas permanently in cinders, not to mention also leaving the merrymakers of Theondir in a state of panic. In their attempt to avoid any responsibility for the fiery disaster, Bolin and his new friend, Duke Baron Bramblewood, would quickly scurry away to join their friends.
Bramblewood?
Baron, what is it?
It's Duke Baron von Bramblewood III.
Okay.
Junior.
I'll have to write that down.
Yeah.
Don't.
After a short walk back to Theondir Keep, the group was met by Feuerbrandt and led in to report to Maalethon. Pleased with their success, the head of security offered to double their compensation if the adventurers would remain in Theondir in order to see through the tri-decade celebration so as to protect the governor from any malicious actions attempted by the Knot. The group, their eyes glimmering in the light of their newly acquired platinum, gladly accepted the offer. And with that, the heroes followed Feuerbrandt to the soldiers' barracks, where they were able to turn in for some much-needed rest, ahead of the extensive morrow day preparations that would need to be made before the advent of the celebration. After a long meditation for Bolin, and a long sleep for the rest of you, you all open your eyes to see the early afternoon sunshine pouring through the small, but nevertheless clear window of a large room in the soldiers' barracks. You've now finished a long rest. The time is approximately 2 in the afternoon, and counting today, you have 3 days until the morning of the tri-decade celebration. My adventurers, the day is yours. What would you like to do?
Can we take a nap?
We just woke up.
Oh, damn.
2 in the afternoon.
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get dressed up as Duke Baron von Bramblewood.
Okay.
My nice clothes, put my signet ring on, and I'm gonna go find what would be like a quartermaster or whatever to see if I can't get my armor replaced.
Let me get your name again. Duke Baron von Bramblewood III?
The third, yep.
He's a Duke and a Baron.
Got
Junior.
it.
Duke Baron.
Well,
Lord,
I'm not necessarily gonna go as the Duke, but Because I'd probably be more known as Traego here, but I'm just putting on. That's the only other set of clothes I have.
Okay, yeah, indeed.
Because
Indeed.
my armor, my whatever, that's gone. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go try to find. Because I think Feuerbrandt said that they'd be able to help me with getting new armor.
Yeah, yep. So Duke Baron Van Bramble with the third. You start making your way out of the rooms. The rest of you, what do you have in mind? What would you like to do this morning, or this afternoon, I should say?
First meal first, then.
Yeah.
All I need to do is I need to just go get a couple. I need to go grocery shopping, and get a couple items, but that's really all I need to do.
Yeah, I gotta pick up some more arrows. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, that's all really. I just need some arrows
Where's the beer?
and beer.
So, Duke, you start walking down the stairs, and you come down to the bottom, and you see that the barracks, the soldiers' barracks, are quite they're quite sparse. There's not too much to them. Right underneath where you guys are sleeping, there's a mess hall where they are serving a late lunch. It's pretty empty because the rush has been over. And outside the door is you see the small little island that leads up to the gate with the drawbridges that gets you into the keep there. All the rest of you are following him down. Or are you staying upstairs, or?
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I'll go down. I gotta get some food for Sora too. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess after the meal, after I eat and have a glass of wine or whatever they have, do I see? Can I just want to approach a guard and ask him? Which way would be the quartermaster? Where could I find the quartermaster?
Okay, so you come into this mess hall, and like I said, it's been pretty cleared out because the lunch rush is already gone.
Okay.
There's two soldiers that are sitting there at a table off to the corner, and they are still discussing. They have some food left in their plates.
Right.
And you go up and approach them and ask them. Go ahead, ask your question again.
Yeah. Greetings, gentlemen. I'm looking for the quartermaster. Could you tell me where to find him?
The older gentleman, there's two of them, a younger-looking guy and an older guy. The older guy has quite a chiseled face. He turns over to you and says, "What are you looking for? What'd you say?"
It's quartermaster's the right term, right? That like outfits the soldiers.
Yeah, we could say that. I think
Isn't that? I mean, I read a lot of like fantasy shit, and I think that's the right word.
We'll say the quartermaster.
Yeah, the quartermaster, the person who supplies you with your weapons from. In the keep here.
Well, that's what in the James Bond movie. That's what Q stands for, is quartermaster.
Okay, all right. I didn't even know that.
If you go up to the gatehouse, there's you can ask Talbot. He can get you what you need there. He's standing on guard over there.
Talbot?
Talbot, yeah.
Thank you. And I bow
Yep.
and I walk away and I go there.
Okay, so they go back to their eating. They're eating their food like normal. You walk over to the drawbridge, and the drawbridge is actually pulled up. The gates are down at this point. And you do see a soldier on the other side, sort of standing at guard behind the gate.
Okay. And you said it's like earlier afternoon, like kind of after lunch?
2 o'clock in the afternoon.
I'm going to approach him and ask him, excuse me, are you Talbot?
Oh, yes, I am indeed. Who are you? May I ask?
Traego Tanglewood at your services. I was told that you would be able to point me towards the quartermaster. I need some refitting for armor.
Quartermaster, you need some refitting for armor, you say?
Correct.
On what authority are you coming across here?
Feuerbrandts.
Feuerbrandt.
And ultimately Maalethons.
All right, hold on a second, he says. He turns around and walks around and disappears out of line of sight from you. And 3, 4, 5 minutes later, he comes walking back, and you hear this as they begin to lower the drawbridge down, and they raise up the gate as well, and he gestures for you to come and enter over.
All right, I go through. And I'm going to ask him... what's the reason for the added security? Is it just a festival that's going on, or is there something else happening?
What do you need to know for?
Just curious.
Oh, we had some people return the other night, and we got a special guest with us in the castle. I've been told by both Feuerbrandt and Maalethon that we need to keep the security a bit tighter now these days, leading up to the tri-decade celebration.
Right. Well, thank you for your leal service. And could you point me towards the quartermaster?
Yeah, continue on through here, over here, through the lower bailey. You get through the gate into the upper bailey, right across the, there's a gatehouse to the side in the upper bailey. Once you get there, you can look for Feuerbrandt. He's the man who can help you out here.
All right.
He's my superior.
All right, cool. I'm gonna head that way. Thank you, and head that way.
Yeah, he bows to you, goes and stands back at his post again. And you follow this trail, and it comes around through the lower bailey and past the gardens. They're in this area. You come through the small gate leading into the inner bailey, which is the even more secure area. And right to your left, there's a guardhouse. And immediately when you walk through, you hear this, "Halt there!" And you see a couple guards walking up with you. A third guard is with them.
Yep, I stop and wait for him to approach me.
"Who goes there? State your purpose."
Traego Tanglewood. I am coming to see the quartermaster for refitting of armor.
Quartermaster steps forward. "It is I, Feuerbrandt. Can I help you with something?"
Feuerbrandt, hello. I was speaking to Feuerbrandt last night, and my armor was destroyed in a mishap. And he had said that you would be able to provide me with a new set of studded armor, possibly enchanted as my old armor was, in compensation.
You see him pause for a second, and he kind of takes a step back and sort of almost, he cracks something of a smile and giggles to himself a little bit and says, "Aha, you were the one in the fire, is that correct?"
You heard about that? Oh, well, yes.
Word spreads in this town, my friend. Spreads like wildfire.
Well, I assure you, it was... I just picked that up. It's like, yes, that was me in the fire. Obviously, you've been told about this, so I was hoping I could get a good quality studded leather armor to replace my now crispy and destroyed leather armor.
Yes, indeed. We've received instructions from Feuerbrandt to see to that you have everything that you need. So indeed, he gestures to his soldiers, and we'll just say for the sake of time that a few minutes later they are able to lead you to another side room where they have stocks of weapons and armor, and you're able to pick out a nice set of armor that's not enchanted.
Oh, come on!
But it's a good set of armor.
All right.
There's possibilities to get it enchanted elsewhere in Theondir,
right.
But yeah.
Should I go by the studded leather armor in the book?
Yep.
Because that's it's apparently in the book, that's like the best light armor that I could wear without having any
and as a rogue, you want to keep yourself light. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So if I'm with him, while I'm there, I could use better armor, like studded leather. That's what I wear leather. So
you're following behind as well, huh?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Get this dragonborn fitted as well, he says.
And I need.
Could you get my manservant some leather as well?
Huh?
I'm just like, go with it.
Okay.
Manservant needs some leather as well. Get him some leather.
And you have I could use a new longbow.
He takes a look at your longbow and sees it's quite chipped and cracked in certain places. Oh, indeed, it looks like this one has seen some good use in the last few weeks. Interesting. Well, if you're willing to trade it in, we can give you something a little bit better.
I would like that, yeah.
Okay, so he takes your bow and sets it down in a pile of the more worn weapons and leads you over to a rack where they have really nice longbows. You're able to pick out a new one that is pristine, beautiful condition. Yep. It's got this reddish kind of beautiful tint to the wood. It looks just beautiful.
All right. And then the only other thing I want to ask for is I do require a hand crossbow and possibly 20 bolts, if that would be doable.
Yeah, we can do that for sure. He says we're well stocked here. We're well equipped. He leads you around to a little corner in the same room there where they have all their weapons stored, and he shows you there's some few crossbows hanging up on the wall, and then there's a pile of bows, and he lets you take whatever you need.
Should we just keep asking Paul?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I need some more arrows, and I need maybe my short swords are fine, but if he has really new ones he'd want to give me, I'd be happy to do that too.
We'll give you the arrows, and then I'll talk to Feuerbrandt and see how far Maalethon's kindnesses are actually extending to you. But take your arrows, and I'll get back to you later.
What about the studded leather for me too?
Oh, sure. Yeah, they let you take that as well.
Okay, good.
Okay. And then I'm gonna ask him. Are you a tinkerer? Or do you know anybody that is a tinkerer in town that could help me with a few small projects that I have in mind?
Oh,
what are you building? A bookshelf or something?
No.
I know the establishments for drink and food. I don't really know much about tinkering. I'm sure if you head into town, you could probably ask someone. They'd probably help you just fine.
Okay. And with that, I'll thank him and then look at Caroline. You ready to leave? All right. We'll take our leave, and I'm gonna head back to. I guess I'm gonna go try to find the other guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna look for Bolin and Niv in particular.
Okay, so you head back to the other guys, and they're still hanging out, eating their food in the mess hall, getting replenished, getting all their energy built up for the rest of the day that lies before them.
Matt, with the studded leather, my AC is now 16.
Okay, great.
Mine is.
It's the leather and then the dexterity bonus, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so it's
Right.
16.
Yep.
Mine is 15.
Okay, excellent. Yes.
Matt, I want to kind of skirt off to like a corner of the bar where I'm just kind of alone.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going
you're gonna head back up then through the great arch, and head out into the square.
Okay,
kind of by yourself
like,
there.
like in an alley or
Okay.
something.
Yep.
I'm going to take out the communication cylinder that Feuerbrandt gave us,
Yes.
and I want to turn it on and do the
Okay.
combination. And
What's
turn
the
it on.
combination?
22731.
Yes. So you turn it on, and immediately begins to glow. A golden glow, and you hear on the other end, yes, this is Feuerbrandt.
Feuerbrandt, it's Bolin. You're good, buddy.
Yes, what can I do for you?
I'm wondering if I can get an audience with Maalethon. I have a rather urgent question to ask him.
What is your question that I could not bring to him myself?
It's regarding the impending assassination attempt.
Is there some things that you have not told us that you know that you're holding on to?
No, I just came across something in my studies this past day that I would like to ask Maalethon to benefit the prosperity of Theondir. And it's for his eyes only, if you don't mind.
I can relay this message to Maalethon and see if he is willing to give you an audience this afternoon. Would it be this afternoon or would it be this evening? What do you have in mind?
Ideally, I would like as soon as possible. It could be rather urgent, depending on the answer to my question.
Give me an hour and I will contact you again with Maalethon's answer.
Okay, bye. No.
Bye.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to do.
All right.
So
Excellent.
for Feuerbrandt to call him back, does Tim have to have the combo like entered in, or?
No, he can call the cylinder directly.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
So yeah, you don't have to have the code in. I'm assuming that when you're done, you move the numbers, you mix them up again, so it stops working essentially. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Excellent.
I'll walk back inside.
Okay.
With the group. I have to take a shit.
Okay then. So Matt, we're in the keep right now, right? Which is at.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. So you're outside of the keep. Sorry, no. You two guys walked into the keep.
Yeah.
The rest of them are in the mess hall here, the barracks, soldier barracks, which are right outside the keep.
Okay, so we were all right. So we slept in the barracks and ate in the barracks, and then we went to the keep. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll go back. I'm gonna head back to the barracks then. At least that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know what Paul wants to do.
No, I'm gonna head out of the city.
Eric, are you alive?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I went down to the restaurant or the.
Okay, so Carolyn wants to head into the city. Bolin, you're hanging out in the restaurant with Groggle. Niv, you're still there eating in the restaurant. Traego, do you come back then to the mess hall?
Yes, to the mess hall.
So you gather as a group, and Caroline now begins to start heading out into the town. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I kind of want to just stay around the keep because I kind of want to get a sense of what kind of is going on around the keep in preparation for all this. If I can get a sense of what kind of preparations they're making, like.
Right.
Give me a perception check, actually, Caroline. Give me a perception check on that one.
Matt, for brevity's sake, can we say that I've found the materials I need? I need a forked twig.
Yep.
And I need some holy water and a bit of tallow, brimstone, and powdered iron.
Yeah, we can say that. Yep, and go ahead and just subtract the amount of money you need to buy some of that stuff.
All right,
like what do you think? Like a gold, 2 gold?
Let's say 10 silver.
Okay.
So me and Sora are out about. I got a 17.
A 17. Okay. You do notice that they have definitely increased the amount of patrols that are going around the keep. You see that there's a lot of soldiers. The presence is a lot more visible. You notice up on the actual wall of the keep, there is a lot more soldiers than before. There's soldiers that are placed each one of the shooting holes with crossbows ready to go. So you do indeed get a sense that there is something happening here.
Okay.
Apparently, the words that you brought back, the message you brought back from Graywater has fallen on good ears.
One thing I'd like to, so I'm paying attention to all this, but one thing I would like to do is find a shop, like an armory shop, because I want to try to track down some arrows that maybe have special arrows, some things I can use to be a little more accurate. So I don't know, in the course of whatever the process, if I can track down.
You could head away from the keep more into the central square if you want to head off by yourself, or if you want to go with everyone else, or what do the rest of you have in mind here?
Well, how far away, Matt, is the Western Wind Potions shop that we were at?
The Western Wind Potions shop is it's slightly northwest of the keep. You're probably looking at about a 45-minute to an hour walk from where you are.
The key on the map is the keep and the small island or the big
island?
Keep
is number 7 on the big island. So you see that the dot to the right on the big island. That's the keep right there. Western Wind Potion shop. If you look to the left, you'll see the center square there where the monument is. If you go straight up there and then slightly to the right on that big road, you'll run into the Western Wind Potion shop.
So here's what I want to do. So I do a little recon, whatever. I'll go back to these guys and I'll tell them what I saw, and let them know that I want to kind of go out into the city and try to find some better arrows. And I'll just tell them that, and they can decide what they want to do.
Okay.
Well, is the Western Wind where we got the peridot dust?
Western Wind is
that
where
was Sorrow. Western Wind is where we got all of our gear from to get our gear back.
Yeah, the Western Wind is right across where the Druid headquarters was.
Where
you met Veriman, the brother of the guy that you murdered in.
You guys
Windorf.
all grabbed a bunch of shit, but I didn't want to do any favors for them, so I didn't grab anything. All right, I remember that. I'm gonna look at Niv and say that we should probably and Bolin. We should probably head out into the city ourselves, and I'm going to look at Niv, and I'm going to use Thieves' Cant to say that we have to make a delivery, and to see if he reacts to it at all. Does he see the Thieves' Cant?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does he understand it?
That's actual
it's
verbal...
a language. It's a
right,
no, it's
but
not
it's
a
actually
verb. It's
verbal.
Like,
yeah.
Is it how I speak?
You add like subtle hints and in different intimations in the words that you use.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm gonna say that we have a delivery to make and see if he responds to it at all or reacts to it.
Give me a perception check there, Niv.
Uh,
I'm assuming you do have Thieves' Cant, right?
I do have
I do.
Yep.
Both of you do.
Niv
Yeah,
does?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't. No.
Oh,
You don't. Okay, then it falls on deaf ears. Niv doesn't get anything.
I'm sure.
That's all.
Sure.
That's all I wanted to know if he understood Thieves' Cant.
So Traego, you go off and you're telling me this long story because the interspersed Thieves' Cant takes like 3 times as long to give a message. So you're just talking away, and Niv is looking incredibly bored. Like, what's get to the point of the story here, man? Like, what's the punchline?
All right. And do I need to insight check him, or I can just tell that he doesn't understand what I'm saying?
I mean, if you wanna check to see if it feels like he believes you, give me an insight check.
Okay, I will do that. And my insight is terrible because I decided not to actually train in it. Oh, god damn it, give me my dice. Go. Motherfucker, natural 20.
Wow.
And it's on an insight check. God damn it. I wasted a nat 20.
So Niv, are you being honest? Do you understand what he's saying?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
He has no idea. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah. Yep.
That's good.
Okay.
Shit.
And I'm just going on.
Shit.
Sorry, I'm rambling on. But yes, well, we should probably go out into the city and look at Bolin. Should we maybe go take a shopping? Or did you already go shopping, or are we gonna incorporate this into the?
I mean, we could say that our shopping extravaganza will purchase the items that I already have.
I feel a montage.
And for all of this shopping, I mean, we'll say it's taking you guys a couple hours now. So we're
Traego's
pushing
trying out a bunch of different cloaks.
Yeah.
We're pushing into like 5 o'clock in the evening now. It's getting closer to about dinner time.
And,
The sun is still up, but it's starting to head down a little bit deeper now behind the buildings in Theondir. The shadows are getting quite long. You're starting to push into the early part of the evening. People have now begun to sort of pour out into the streets after work days. The festivities are still continuing for the new harvest, still continuing in preparation for the tri-decade celebration. People here don't seem to be concerned at all about anything going on. They're just out celebrating and having a good time, and it's a good atmosphere.
So was I able to find any arrows or anything, or are we doing that now?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to head into the central area, we can definitely find a shop that'll help you out there.
Well, I presume we know. We asked the guy where the shop was that we need to go deliver those vials to. So I'd like to kind of just casually make our way on the way there.
So wait a minute, Matt. Before we go into that, can I sense that they're kind of there's like an inside story here. You can kind of feel like something's going on that you don't really understand when they're talking.
When Traego's trying to speak to Niv.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I would say because you don't understand Thieves' Cant that you really don't. I'll use here too as a babbling story.
Okay. Good.
That you really don't have any perception of it either. And about half an hour ago, Bolin, suddenly your cylinder lights up in your pocket, and you hear, or in your pouch, it's a pretty big cylinder, and you hear this, Bolin, can I speak to you, Bolin? Ding 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 ding.
Everyone, I'll be back in a minute. I'll be right back, and I'll just kind of scurry off into the corners or wherever to be by myself.
Okay. Do we hear the thing go off?
Give me a perception check.
Is it just quiet enough that only he can hear it?
Give me a perception check, actually, with disadvantage, because you're not listening for it.
Dude, honest to God, the first roll, another 20.
No way.
Wow.
Another fucking natural 20.
What was your second one?
This is fucking a natural 1.
Wow.
Nat 20 and a nat 1.
Bolin slips away from you, Traego, and yeah, they're still you're still talking away in your story and having a great time.
Hey, can we question? Do we know? Is it are people drinking out in the streets?
Yeah, there's. I mean,
oh yeah. Okay, so I'm definitely grabbing a bottle of wine.
Yep.
Actually, Bolin, do you have any more of that wine that you had from the?
In Vino Veritas.
More of that wine. from
The most valuable wine in all of Theondir.
No, I think we only had the one bottle. We drank it all last night.
All right. So then I'm just gonna grab a random bottle of wine from wherever and start having a little bit of a good time.
All right, and as you do that, you don't even notice that Bolin sort of just takes a few steps away and slides off to the side of the group as you're heading into the central area, the central square where there's tons of people.
He had it on vibrate only.
Yeah, it's just vibrate.
On silent.
The vibrate only cylinder.
He had the earpiece in.
And Matt, I want to go to the Western Wind.
Okay. Yeah.
The
so
potion shop.
you're gonna keep heading there.
Is that here where we need to go deliver the peridot dust?
That's actually where you're trying to go is in the central city, close to the monument. The Western Wind is a little bit further north.
Okay, so I'll follow. I'll go with Niv.
Okay.
I'm curious what he wants there.
As Niv, as you guys begin to walk over to the Western Wind potion shop, you're heading up the main avenue there that goes straight up from the monument. And Bolin steps slightly off to the side to answer this call from Feuerbrandt. Once again, Feuerbrandt says, "Bolin, are you there?"
I am. Have you had a conversation with Maalethon?
Indeed, I have. Maalethon is he's interested in what you have to say to him.
Splendid.
Can we say a meeting tonight, this evening, before you turn in for the night?
Perfect. Where should we meet?
Come to the gates, 10 p.m.
Okay. I'll see you there, big guy.
Thank you.
Click, 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 click.
So it's about 6 o'clock now.
Okay.
You guys walking heading north to the Western Wind Potion Shop, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess I'll follow them, but unless they don't.
Okay, the workday is getting pretty late now, so it's not guaranteed that it's going to be open, but you can go up there and check anyway. You come up to the Western Wind Potion Shop. You immediately recognize the street because this is where you were actually just yesterday, in fact. And you recognize the street, and there is the Western Wind Potion Shop, and the lights are actually on. There are candles inside that are lit. You go up to open the door, and the door actually swings open.
What does the building across the street where the druids were, does that still look like it's occupied? I'm not going to go poking my head up at the windows or anything, but...
Oh, yeah, those druids.
Yeah. You look over at the building, and oddly, it looks nothing at all like it did yesterday. The building that you were in yesterday was a fairly nice, well-kept up building. This is a rundown building. The stone is crumbling. The wood is rotten and creaking, entirely, completely run down. There's nothing going on inside. The windows are broken. The doors are boarded up. And right next to the door, next to this building, connected to it on the side, is a little shack. And there's a light inside on the shack. And you see from outside the window, there's a woman inside, busy away with making some food or something. But the building looks nothing at all like what you left yesterday.
Is it real, or is that an illusion?
I don't know. It looks real. Do you want to go up and investigate it a little closer?
Can I check? Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Is Groggle just drinking?
Natural 20.
That's what I'm assuming. Did you just seriously roll a nat 20?
Yeah, natural 20.
Oh, you guys are rolling awesome. So, strangely enough, Niv, there doesn't seem to be any illusion. This seems to be absolutely real. The building doesn't look like it's in any good shape. It looks like it's been run down for years.
This is the building where we were with the druids, right? Where we flew into?
This is the building where you guys just were yesterday, yeah.
Jesus, that was a day ago?
Dude, yeah, right? Like, God, it seems like months.
Think about everything that happened between then and now.
Yeah, right. And I'm kind of like standing on the doorstep here, like waiting for Niv. Like, are you gonna come in? What do you want to do? We have business to attend to. Like, let's get this going, buddy.
Yeah, and then as I walk back across the street towards the Western Winds, I'll just kind of quietly point out it's not, it's real. It's not an illusion, and then go into the store.
at this point, like Traego doesn't even understand. Like I don't even. I'm probably like half in the bag, little buzz. So I don't even like understand what he's like. Okay, yeah, all right. I don't. Weirdo. All right. What are we doing? You guys gonna walk back or what?
You walk into the Western Wind potion shop, and as you come into the door, once again, the sort of there's a little tingle from the bell, or a little ringing going on there, and behind the counter, Verriman stands up and immediately recognizes you guys from yesterday.
Quick question, Matt. I have his name down as Galen.
Oh, sorry.
Verriman was the brother.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, Galen. Yeah, sorry, I'm mixing them up. Sorry, guys.
Is Galen the one that?
He's the shopkeep.
Galen,
the shopkeep. And what's his
Verriman is the brother.
The one that
is the brother
that we killed.
That
gave us the merriment.
Yes.
He gave us the merriment, and this guy gave us the Theondir Thunder.
Yeah.
So, wait, before you're gonna go into that, Matt. So I'm there with him, and I see this building, and do I recognize this the place we were with the druids as well?
You recognize the building, but it looks nothing like what you remember from yesterday.
I kind of want to do a little more investigating. When they go into the shop, I want to, I had a connection to the druids, so I want to, see what's going on. So they can go with them, but I want to stay in the building.
All right, go ahead and give me an investigation check, and then we'll go ahead and head into the potion shop for a second here.
Yeah. 6.
Okay. You notice also that the building is really run down. The stone's cracking, the wood is rotting, but looks nothing like what you remember from yesterday.
Can I get in? Is it is it just open?
Boarded up. But you also do notice the same thing. There is a little shack on the side of the building, and just like Niv, you do notice that there is light coming out of a small window in the shack, and there is a woman in there who looks to be busy preparing food of some sort.
I'd like to talk to her, but why don't you deal with these guys first, then we can come back.
Okay. So you guys walk in, and immediately Galen Trudon recognizes you from yesterday, and he says, "Oh, my friends, welcome back. Can I help you with something more? You are some of my best customers I've had in months. Did I tell you about one time that I had customers that came from the continent, and they spent, upwards of 3,000 gold in one afternoon? It was amazing. But you are probably the second greatest customers I've had since then. It's been a great success these last few weeks. I've been very happy for your business. What can I help you with this evening?"
Well, Galen, hopefully this will put us back up to number 1. I'm going to. You gave us some equipment and whatnot yesterday.
Indeed, I did. Yes, I did.
Luckily, I no longer have use for those. So I'd like to return my dagger, 10 of my darts, my clothes, a component pouch.
He's pissed.
Because I don't know. You can
sounds terrible.
Keep any of the money.
1 star.
We've got our stuff back. I don't need your fine wares anymore, so I'll give them back to you, and you can feel free to sell them again.
Okay. But you realize this is a potion shop.
Yeah, but we got all of this stuff from you.
You did
we
get some
got it
potions
from the druids.
From me.
We came across the street to get all that stuff from him.
Oh, yes, the armor shop across the street. I'd be happy to take all of this off of your hands if you'd like. I can bring it to them myself and trade it into them.
Didn't we get it all from the Western Winds?
You got a bunch of potions. You got
the
Theondir Thunder from him as well.
Well, we did get. Well, he's right. We did get like
I have it all written down as from this place.
Yeah. They did outfit us after. Who outfitted us after we lost all our shit?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I probably wasn't clear about that. There was another shop right next door that you guys went to as well that you were able to get outfitted and everything else.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Galen just had the potions and the magical supplies that you needed.
I think this guy is like a Goodwill.
Yeah.
We did that thing pretty quickly to save some time there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. No, Dan.
But
go
if
ahead.
you want to go back to the across the street or the other side there and bring the weapons back, you can do that over there if you'd like.
No, I think I'll still give it to.
Yeah. Roman. Whoa.
To Galen.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate your gifts.
It was a whirlwind yesterday, I guess, and a lot has happened since then. But I think you can find a way, I'm sure, to use or make money off of this stuff. I don't need it anymore.
Indeed, I sure can, he says. And he leans over the desk to you, to Niv, and he whispers in your ear, would you be interested in any more of the peridot dust?
I would, and some answers, if you wouldn't mind.
Indeed.
'Cause are we the only ones in there?
Yeah,
I'm in there. I'm in there too.
Well, the two of you,
So
yeah.
I followed you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I make a perception to see if I hear this? As
Yeah,
I'm
go
kinda
for it.
like,
Yep, go for it.
16.
16. Okay, yeah, you pick up on this. You
Okay.
you hear the conversation. You're a part
So
of it. Yeah.
now is when I'm actually gonna try to nonchalantly, but I'm actively listening to the conversation now. And try
What
to
can
hear what
I,
they're talking about.
What can I help you with, my friend?
But yeah, I'll give him 1 component pouch, 1 dagger, 10 darts, and I think that's... Oh, and a set of plain clothes.
Okay.
Because that was all the extra stuff. I'm going to keep the extra spell book and the brass brazier
Okay.
and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then I'm going to kind of probe him for how long he's known Wildereth, and how long he's, worked with the druids across the street.
Vildereth, he's come in regularly in and out for the past year or so. I saw that they were moving into this area, and he would come in periodically and buy quite a lot of supplies from me. So I put him quickly down as a customer, a preferred customer who would be indeed good for my business, and he has indeed been good, true to his word. He's paid me up every gold piece that I've offered. In fact, shortly after all of you left, within a matter of hours, he came back and he was able to give me full payment for all of the supplies that you took that I had written down.
So, has he ever asked you specifically for any of your fancy glitter?
He's occasionally, yes, he'll ask me for some. Yes, I've been trying to get him some, but he's very cautious when he asks. He asks only occasionally.
You said you tried to get him some. Have you gotten him some?
I've been known to have passed off a little bit to him every once in a while. Yes, a few vials here and there.
Okay. Well, could you try and get me some? How much do you
Indeed.
have right now?
How much are you willing to offer me?
Last time, I got 2 vials. You have 2 vials again for me?
I can part with 2 vials, he says. So be
And how much?
I would be looking at 200 gold.
Yeah, right.
Like 20 platinum.
Well, I'm afraid that's a little too steep for me right now.
Oh, very well. If you change your mind, you know where to find me. Of course,
Haggle.
if anyone asks, I have not supplied you with anything.
Of course not. Just some quality magic goods.
Indeed, my
I'll give him a
friend.
little. The hell was that?
Oh, was that?
Really tough.
This-
You
Not
know.
on my end. Matt, who did
Be
he
right back.
say? Who did he say paid for our when we got all the stuff? What was the guy's name?
Who paid for
That was Vildereth.
Vildereth?
Vildereth? Yeah. Smash, boom, crash. Was that Eric falling down the stairs or something?
Well, it might have been Tim because Tim got up and walked away. When I hear him say that Vildereth paid, I kind of perk up and just curious. I couldn't help but overhear you. How much did Vildereth actually give you for the potions that we took?
It came to several several hundred gold pieces for everything.
So like 2, 3.
I don't feel quite comfortable disclosing amounts so freely, but we'll say over 400 for sure.
Okay. And that's just for the potions.
Oh, indeed. There were quite a few greater healing potions, among other things there.
Right. I think I did actually grab one. Just curious, do you have any other greater healing potions, or?
At the moment, my friend, we are allowed. You purchased us out of all of our potions from yesterday. I have not had the time to get new ones in, neither have I had the time to make them myself. So we are currently out of stock. The stock is low.
No potions at all. Any type of potion.
We do have a couple minor healing left, if you're interested in those.
Possibly. Do you have any, anti-venom, anti-poison, something cure poisons? I've had a recent run-in with being poisoned, and I paid more than I probably should have for being poisoned. So just curious. Do you have any heal? I don't know if that's a thing.
We do have potions that would work against the poison effects. Indeed. I could offer you a couple of those. We have some remedies and antidotes, things like that.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in something like that?
I would be profoundly interested in something like that. How much would that cost me?
All right.
And what exact kind of poisons do? Are they like a cure-all, or is it specific types of poisons?
And he is looking through his ledger to see how much these things cost. In other words, I'm looking through the player's handbook here. I'll tell you what. We'll say that he offers you 3 of these potions that would allow you basically to cure yourself of poison. 3 of these potions.
Okay.
And he'd be willing to part with them for, we'll give you a great deal, 5 gold apiece. All right, guys, let's get back into this now. Traego, you were just purchasing some potions, and we'll say you're able to pick up 3 potions that are antidotes to poison that Galen himself was able to concoct, and he charges you 5 gold apiece for those. And those will remove a state of poison when you drink one of them. That requires an action to do it.
Okay.
Okay.
And then do you have any what other potions do you have? Just healing? Anything interesting that you have on stock?
Right now, sir, we are quite sold out after yesterday. You cleaned us out quite well.
Right.
Vildereth also came back later and purchased a few other potions as well.
Okay. And then, as far as wink, wink, nudge, nudge. As far as a Peridot dust goes, a vial of that about 100 gold per vial. Is that the going rate?
That's of course with my my markup. I am taking a risk myself in stocking it. So
right.
That is not an unreasonable price, I would say.
Okay, so if we were to acquire more, would you be willing to purchase that?
Potentially.
And what would your buying price be?
Perhaps 50 gold.
50 gold, 100% markup. Okay.
That's quite a markup.
Yeah. All right.
It's quite a risk, my friend. It's also quite a scarce and a needed substance in this town. You know, the Sincari have been using it. It's a central component to several of the Sincari spells that are quite important to running the city of Theondir.
Several? Well, I was under the understanding it was just to get into the city. There are more.
I know there's at least there's that one, and there's at least another 1 or 2 or 4. I'm not quite sure. There's rumors, of course.
Matt, is there like a back room to this place?
Sorry?
Is there a back room to this place?
Yeah, there's a curtain behind that he walked behind.
Okay.
There's that like bookshelf thing that has all the potions on it. He walked around behind it.
Okay. Because while Chad and him are talking, I'm just gonna absentmindedly browse the shelves. I'm not really paying attention to their conversation anymore.
Okay. Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
All right, I have my potions and I'm good to go.
So, man, I'm at the house there where the light's on. I can see the woman cooking or whatever.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
So I want to knock on her door. I want to knock on the door and have a conversation with her.
Okay, you knock on the door, and immediately she stops preparing her food, and she immediately looks up at the window and sees you, and is a little startled, and lets out a little bit of a shout, and you see the curtain come across the window.
Okay. Let me knock on the door again. Like I'm gonna say, like I just have a couple questions. I'm not here to harm you at all.
What do you want?
I
What do you want? Leave me alone!
I'm curious about this building here that you're next to. I have questions about the building.
I'm cooking dinner. What do you want from me?
Look, lady, how long have you
Sound
lived
like
in
the
this
old
house?
lady from Neverending Story. That old
What's her
couple
name?
or whatever. They're like,
Elgie broke. What's her? Yeah.
Have fun storming the castle. No.
Yeah.
Who are you? I don't talk to just anybody. Who are you? I'm busy cooking.
I'm a Girl Scout. Can you just answer a quick question? Just real fast.
The door opens a crack, and you see her sticking her head out. Tell me who you are.
My name is Caroline, and I was in this building next to you yesterday, and it looked much different. How long has it always been this way, or
This building here?
next to you? Yes.
What do you mean? It looks different. What do you mean?
I was in this building yesterday, and wasn't this run down?
It's been this way for years.
Do you know who? How you've been here the whole time? Was it something before it was run down? I mean, what
Of
was
course
it?
I've been here for a good part of 40 years. My husband and I have owned this building for 40 years. I've been here. What do you mean?
Insight.
Accusing me of nothing. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Insight check.
Yeah, I think so. I'm like, do I sense any like she's what? You know, am I getting any vibes from her? Am I?
Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
12.
12. It seems like she's being honest. She says that there hasn't been anyone here for 15 or 20 years.
So is your
in this
husband
building?
here?
Now, my husband is dead. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Awkward.
Look.
wow.
Okay. Do you know any druids that were here before? Anything? Nothing's changed. It's not.
Druids? The building hasn't been used for 15 years. Are you listening to what I'm saying? I feel like I'm just repeating myself.
Okay. All right. Is there another way into the building? Is there a way I can get into the building? I mean,
Is there another way I can break into your house?
come on, lady. A little help here.
Listen up. The last people to be here were a group of people from the Terravan mainland under the leadership of, I don't remember, it was 15 or 20 years ago. One of the men, one of the little people, they were halflings or something. I don't remember exactly. There was a group of them. That was the last group that was here 15 to 20 years ago.
Well, it must be kind of expensive to hold onto a building and not rent it out or anything.
Oh, it's expensive. Yes, no one wants to rent out this building. It's more expensive to tear it down and build something up. So I just keep on keeping on.
So you're paying the mortgage and everything. Wow, by yourself, and your husband's dead.
Well, I did collect a little bit of money from him from his death.
Okay.
Oh,
What
poor
did he-
Harold. He was a good man.
Harold.
What did Harry do for a living?
Do you think I'm an idiot? He ran the building. What do you think? 15 to 20 years ago, we had quite a few people coming in here. We had a group of small men from the mainland, and they were paying very good money. But what do you think? I mean, we've saved our money, and I have dreams, I have goals, but I'm also getting a bit older. This building is getting older by the minute as well.
Okay. All right. Sorry to bother you. I apologize, and I'll walk off.
15 to 20 years. Harold's been dead for 10. Thank you for reminding me.
Yes. Apologies. Yes. All right. So I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna walk around this building. I'm gonna find a way in. Damn it.
Nope.
The door cracks open. She sticks her head, and she's watching you. Give me a stealth check, actually, to see if you can evade her gaze.
What's she gonna do? Throw a shoe at me? 14.
14. Okay. she's not very keen. Her eyes are getting old, so you're able to sort of slide around and evade her and take off around the corner of the building. And you can see as you come around the corner of the building in the alleyway, I mean, the windows are all broken out. I mean, you could easily, if you wanted, push your way through, break open some of the slats and come into the window.
Okay. That's what I'll do around the backside.
Okay, so you hop into this building. Hop into the building.
I'm gonna leave Sora outside.
Okay.
So what is the building like? Is it like a townhome? Like, is it like 5 stories high, or is it like a little single family 2-story house?
It's a 2-story house, yeah,
Okay.
and it's got this like long kind of rectangular shape, and it's stone on the bottom, but then it's got windows, and then it has the upper floor is the wood. There's only 2 floors here.
Okay.
And Caroline, as you jump through this window, you notice that the floor plan is exactly like you remembered. The only difference now is you see there's tons of debris on the floor, parts of the wall that have fallen down. It's really in a terrible condition of disarray, and it looks like this woman was telling the truth. This looks like 15 to 20 years of being ignored.
Okay, so can I see if there's like a cellar or a basement or anything, or?
There isn't. There's the first floor. The stairs are still intact that were up to the room where you guys were stayed, where you initially were.
So okay, so if I can't find like down, I'm gonna go up. So
Okay.
I can kind of check out that space where we were and see.
Sure. You head up the stairs and you come up to the rooms where you guys initially slept. Give me an investigation check.
Let's see what we got.
So he's sneaking around the house with this old woman in the house.
No,
She's in a shack next to the building, kind of adjacent.
Okay.
So I got a 14.
Like the pool house.
Yeah, exactly right.
All right, I guess if I can't really pick out anything, I'll leave the building and go meet up with these guys at the shop. Actually, I want to go to the armory.
Okay, give me a stealth check as you're leaving the building.
Fuck. I got a 5.
Crashing out a window.
The whole house.
You hit a board on the top of the stairs that cracks and breaks, and you start to fall down the stairs, and the woman hears this and runs over into the building and starts like pounding on the door and trying to like unlock it. There's a side door that's locked up, and she's trying to like get these chains going, these keys going, and you crash through the side, come through the window, and take off running. And she sees you and starts cursing at you as you run off.
All right, fine.
In the name of Harold!
Good old Harry. Right,
You join up with the rest of the guys, sweating,
Well,
looking a little disturbed.
The armory is next to it, right?
Yeah.
I'll go there.
We come outside just as he's running away.
As Traego and the shopkeep were talking, and I was browsing, I want Lizzo to jump out of my robes and kind of scurry between, like on the door frame between the back room and the front room.
Okay.
And just wait there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you send Lizzo out, and she takes off and takes a little perch there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm ready to leave the shop.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So you guys step out of the shop, and you are back out onto the main street there that leads south down to the center square.
So and Caroline's going to the
I'm gonna go to the
shop
armory.
next door.
I want to ask him about any special arrows he might have.
They do have some special arrows at this same shop. They have a 5 exploding arrows if you're interested in those.
Yeah.
So essentially, these arrows, in addition to the normal damage, you'd have to light them, but in initial to the initial damage,
It's the hazard thing?
you can do an additional. These do an additional 2d6.
Ooh, yeah, I'm in. How much?
But these are not cheap. These arrows they're looking at 5 gold apiece.
I want all of them.
Okay, 25 gold and they're all yours.
And what was the agreement if we stay on to help? We each get 100 platinum was it
Maalethon was willing
200?
to double your
Original. So it'd be 200 platinum each.
compensation. Yeah, he already paid you 100.
150
Wait, I
of
thought it
which
was
we
50.
I thought we
lost.
got 50.
No,
You got
we
50
we,
up in
Oh,
advance,
yeah,
so
we
50
got-
more.
we negotiated, which is like a bad move on my part because we lost it all. But we negotiated for 50 half up front. So
That's right. Okay. Cool.
So I mean, he's willing to pay quite a bit to make sure that things go well in the Tri-Decade celebration. You can kind of sense from him that his job and potentially his life is riding on this.
And so they don't in the that shop. They don't have any other like. Do they have like any special short swords?
Nothing that's
yeah.
that's super exciting for you.
Okay.
Not here anyway. No.
can we go into that shop too?
Sure.
What about daggers? Do they have
Yeah.
anything dagger like or like a rapier?
They do have rapiers, yeah.
Anything special or just like normal?
Nothing pretty standard. It's what
No.
you have already, more or less.
Can I ask? Just go up to the shopkeeper and like, what do you have that is special? Like, can you just go through a list? Throwing daggers, any weapons, armor, any accessories?
We do have some throwing stars if you're interested in those.
And they're 1 silver each.
1 silver piece each, yeah.
All right, I'll take 5 of them just to feel like a ninja.
Okay, you got 5 of them. 1d6 piercing damage.
Why not?
Finesse weapon, so you got all your benefits there.
1d6.
Yep, 1d6.
Do they have anything else? They have nothing else really there of interest to.
Nothing that really sticks out to you. Not at this shop. It's a pretty standard shop.
Do they have an idea of where the place where they might have like stuff that would increase, hit
And we would
point?
be willing to pay a finder's fee if it turns out to be advantageous to us.
The man smiles and says, "Anything can happen over in Upper Gate Town, Lower Gate Town.
Upper Gate. Okay. Yeah.
Upper Gate, Lower Gate Town. Anything can happen over there."
Well, if we do find anything that really piques our interest, we'll come back and maybe give you a little bit of a bonus.
Okay, well, thank you, he says.
Okay. At this point, what time are we looking at here? We're probably looking at.
So now you're pushing on to about 8 o'clock at night here. You guys haven't really had any food yet, have you?
No,
Just whether-
we had lunch. We didn't eat any dinner though.
So yeah.
When
We had, like, a
when
late
they're
lunch.
Matt, when they're in that weapons store, that armory, I am going to stay outside and just kind of lean up against the building, back to the building, and then go through Lizzo, see if I see or hear Galen talking to anyone, talking to himself, doing anything after
Yep.
we've left that store.
Give me a perception check.
And do I roll with my own bonuses?
It'd be his.
Through Lizzo, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I roll? 'Cause I still don't have the info on a lizard. I'm assuming it's +0.
Yeah, let's say that right now.
Okay.
Is it not in the back of the book?
No, it's not in the player's handbook. 10.
10, okay. You hear him mumbling. He walks behind the curtain a little bit and is busy shuffling around things in different boxes. And he moves back to the counter, back and forth. He's kind of cleaning up, kind of shuffling, moving things around. That's all you really see.
Nothing about Wilderith or Peridot Dust or
Mumbling to
Safari.
himself. You can't really pick it up. He's mumbling. Here's some house from bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then as they walk out of the store, I'll zap her out of there and back into my robes.
Yep.
Because we're within 30 feet, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you can just. Oh, that's cool.
So
Fastball.
are you guys outside now?
Yeah, like walking out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna give Bolin a knowing look before we stop to get anything.
I'm not.
Oh,
No,
it's not
I'm
you.
not with you
Oh,
guys.
you're not with us.
No.
Where did you? Okay.
I'm in the bar with
shit.
Traego.
You have the stuff too, don't you?
What stuff?
The Peridot
Peridot
dust that
dust?
we were supposed to deliver.
Yep.
But
So
we know.
as these guys come out, though, I'm gonna say something is screwy here. Because Wildereth wanted us to get him peridot dust. But Galen says he's been getting him peridot dust on his own. And now the building's a shit heap. So what?
It doesn't really make sense.
Something is not adding up here.
Right. Well, I'll tell them that that I bumbled my way through the building.
And you did find anything except the table.
The table with the burn of the mark in the table, and an old crotchety woman.
Do we know her name?
I didn't bother to ask. Elena, her husband,
Mrs. Harold.
Mrs. Harold.
Mrs. Harold.
Well, this trip has kind of been a bust. I thought Bolin was with us the entire time. I'm sorry.
Who, by the way, who has that ring that we found? Because didn't I give it to Bolin?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay.
Bolin has it. Bolin has all like the really. He's got the cylinder. He's got the ring. Who's got the amulet? Caroline, you have the amulet, right?
Caroline does.
Yeah,
I do. And obviously, nothing's happened with it since.
No, you definitely would have noticed it if something happened. Yeah.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna start making my way to where where we were supposed to deliver the peridot dust.
Okay, that's that's in the central, close to the back in the central city, back by the central monument there, right off there.
Kind of on our way though.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to ask them.
And Groggle and Bolin, you're still in the central city in the bar.
Yep.
Yeah. Are you guys joining them at all, or?
At some point within the next 3 days, I would like to. I would like to go to the Temple of Bahamut, and I would like to visit the Sinkari Academy at some point.
At some point, okay.
No rush.
On your wish list. Yep.
Cool.
So as the Duke starts going in a certain direction, I'm going to want to know where we're going because I'm with him. So I need to know what's up.
Just an errand I need to run real quick. Niv, are you with me?
So where the Sinkari Academy is on the small island, is that right, Matt?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
And where's the temple? Is that in the
northeast of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Exactly.
I might go to the temple too because I used to be a follower of Bahamut.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start making my way there to see if that shop is open.
Okay. You're walking back down to the central city square, and you remember the directions that you got from Tucson, and you come around, and there in front of you you see the Royal Tapestry, the shop where you're supposed to meet Morthikos, and
Tapestry.
It is pretty dark. There's nobody there. It's now pushing 8:30 at night, so it looks pretty dark at that point.
So while they're doing this
business
thing,
is closed.
Okay.
I want to be kind of hanging back a little bit. I don't need to be walking with them. I kind of want to keep an eye out, see if anybody's following us.
Yeah.
Give me a perception check there, actually.
Where is perception on here? There it is. An 11.
11. Okay. Yeah, you don't really notice anything. A lot of people out still.
Yeah. What was the two shops that we visited? What were they called?
The Western Wind Potion Shop. That one.
Yep.
What was the armory called?
SHARPE. Sharp Weapons.
Fucking classic, man.
Sharp is the name of the name of the guy.
Yeah.
Randall Sharp.
Okay, I'm gonna knock on the door to the shop that we're at.
Yeah,
So
no
are we-
response.
Are we like right in the square, or is it
So
like
you guys
on
are
a
you guys are
side
right off the square. Yeah, you're
Like a
slightly
block or a
east
half
off
block
the
off
square.
the square.
Yep, slightly off to the east of the square.
Well, I suppose we still do have a couple days, so.
So I'll catch up with them. I'm like, so what is this place?
What place?
The place
Square?
that Niv and
Just another shop I wanted to visit to see if we could get some more accessories before the festival.
what's the name of it, Matt? Again?
The Royal Tapestries. Royal tapestry.
So you want to? So I look at Traego and say, "Excuse me." I look at the Duke and say, "So you wanted a tapestry?"
Look, I have a couple plans in mind.
Mm-hmm.
You could always use a tapestry. Have you ever had to get rid of a body?
The
No,
Duke's
but I
looking to
will
decorate.
soon. Unless
Look,
you-
everything's above,
what the hell's-
Caroline, everything's above board. Everything's above board. We're all good here.
Okay.
There's no shady business.
Uh-huh.
We're all on the same team.
So why are you not telling me what's going on?
So how busy is it, Matt, on this side street?
The side street not super busy. I mean, most people are out in the square. They're pretty busy there, running around. And it's strange because I mean, people are having a good time. And at this point, Niv, as you're in the side street, you suddenly hear this voice coming from up the side street behind you. He catches sight of you, Niv. Catches sight of Caroline and also of Traego, seeing you two stand all together, and he comes running up, looking a bit. He's a bit rotund, heavier set man, flushed in the face, sweating profusely, well dressed in some formal attire with dark blue trousers that run up like a frilly white shirt that kind of fluffs up around his neck. If he had a neck, he's way too rotund to even have a neck. And it's a really beautiful light blue jacket, fancy white trim embroidery all around, and clasp in the front. And he's running up to you guys, sweating. And he's like, oh my goodness, what a relief. You're finally here. We've been waiting for you. My poor knuckles have become utterly white from the sheer stress of this uncertainty. Hurry along now. We've been waiting for you for some time now. The other group is in place. And come along. The guests are beginning to become a bit restless, as you would imagine. Come along now. Oh, we've been waiting for several hours now. It's good that you're finally here. Come along with me. Come along. And he turns around and starts to lead you, and gestures for you to follow him down the side road.
To me or to everybody?
To you, to everyone who's there, Traego and Caroline.
Do I need to get any kind of reading from him?
Give me a
Anything?
insight check.
Insight, which is the one that I just decided not to become proficient in.
I'm gonna turn to the Duke and just say, a friend of the Duke's? Question mark.
Yeah, I rolled a 4. I have -1 because I'm not proficient in it, so I got a 3.
Okay. Who knows? I mean, it seems like you have no idea. But he catches sight of you, Duke, when you start walking around the corner. He didn't see you initially in the darkness. He didn't quite see you. But he pauses there and he says, "Oh, were you intending to be along in the party as well?"
Yes, my manservant. They are not very good at their jobs.
Indeed.
We have been searching for an hour. Are you?
I'm a bit confused. Indeed. Come along. We have the other parties waiting. The other half of the entertainment. I'm assuming that these two are part of the entertainment. But we asked for 5 people. Where are the others?
Well,
Yes,
we've
Duke, where
come
are
up with a bout of dysentery. We have lost 2 men.
Raging diarrhea.
Quite violent. And be assured, everything is perfectly fine. My 2 men here and this beautiful animal. Well, let's just say you will be delighted and surprised, especially by young Sora here, who can walk on her hind legs and bop a ball on her nose.
Can she? And he stops. Can she fight?
Oh, she can fight.
Indeed,
As can we all.
Indeed. I was a bit disappointed though, because we have a group of 5 who's expecting to have another 5 to be meeting them. This is very, very perturbing. Also, indeed. Is it possible for you to find anyone else? Oh, it's getting late. The guests are getting restless. I'm afraid they're going to be leaving soon if we don't gather the party together. the two of you, come along with me. We can figure the rest out as we go, I guess.
Well, technically there's 4 because there's me and my man Niv, and the ranger here.
Oh, I'm the manservant now.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're the manservant. I'm sorry. I'm switching you over to the manservant. And we are all quite capable.
Can you gather anyone else, or is this all you have? The 4 of you, the 3 of you? I don't quite see.
Well, where exactly is it?
Message.
Like us to come? I will see if we have a few other friends that we could have join us.
Indeed. Follow me this way. We're heading over here to my place. The guests are all in place already, and we could really have been doing this already for half an hour ago. But this is quite disappointing. That I'm not saying I'm not going to be paying you. I'll be paying you the same amount that I promised, as long as you're willing to come with me now, and we'll take care of this problem immediately before the guests get too restless and leave.
I'm going to butt in and say, I wouldn't be doing my job as the Duke's manservant if I didn't get a little information out of you first. Where are we going? What is this about?
Are you not from around these parts? Do you not recognize me? He says, we're going to the most prestigious establishment in all of Theondir.
I am but a humble manservant. Please enlighten me as to who you are.
Who am I? I am J.P. Franzine at your service.
How do you spell his last name?
Franzen with a slash on the E.
Of course.
Franzine. And I am very surprised that you are the entertainment, but you have not done your research. The establishment that you are coming to is the Overhead, which is fine crystal and glasswares by Sir J.P. Franzine. And tonight we are having a special event for our customers, and unfortunately we have one group that's waiting, and I've been waiting on the rest of you for an hour, and this is very disturbing that you've been waiting this long to come with me. But come along.
I have to apologize. Apparently, your message did not come to us properly. We thought we were supposed to be at the Royal Tapestry for entertainment, but it looks like the clothes.
That's garbage, the Royal Tapestry. We're talking about an entirely different level here. This is fine crystal and glass.
Oh yeah, we definitely want the wolf in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shit. And I'm gonna go along with it. I want to see where this goes.
Yeah.
Come with me, Baron. I would like to also to show you some of our wares as well. Bring your entertainment along with us, and if you can gather more people, the more the better. But we'll take what we have at this point. Come.
Quite right. I must remind you, my proper title is Duke.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
My first name is Baron. It's confusing, I understand, but the title is Duke.
And my proper title is indeed Sir Master of Crystal and Glass.
Sir Master of Crystal and Glass.
So, Your Honor, I am able, assuming that you want music, I am able to play a bit on the lyre, but I don't have mine with me.
Oh, I'm sure that the guests are not at all interested in the music. The guests are interested in, shall we say, more down-to-earth entertaintainment.
Matt, how far are we from the barracks?
This whole time, you're a good 4 hour away from the barracks. Yeah, it's a long ways away.
Wow.
Do I see any guards?
Not in this part. Not in this side street of town. No.
I'm just gonna kind of give them a look, both Caroline and Niv, and start following.
Okay, so he's kind of waddling along, hurrying along, sweating, talking profusely, sweating profusely. It leads you up to this building that it's a massive white building that juts up into the sky above the other buildings around it in sort of a hexagonal shape. There's something like a tower that comes into a big dome. And as you come closer, you see that as you reach the facade of the building, he swings open 2 ornate glass doors that have this etching into the glass. And you see up on the side of the building, jutting out, is this orb. It's a crystal, and etched into the crystal, it says, the Overhead, fine crystal and glasswares by Sir J.P. Franzine. And he gestures for you to follow him into the glassware store.
as we're like approaching, I'm gonna cast Mage Hand, and I'm gonna grab like the back of Carolon's, grab the back of his like his cloak or whatever he's got on, and just to kind of see if I can tug him back, just to kind of give him like the hint to like stay back.
Like pull him back. Yep.
Pull him back a little. It's not very strong, but I want him to have the idea like I kind of look back at him when I do it.
Yep.
All right.
Caroline, you notice this pulls back, and you look over at Traego.
Traego, and he kind of gives me the high sign, and
I'm like,
all right. So I'll pick up on it. I'm sure.
Yeah, and I'm going to continue to talk to Sir. What's his name? Sir Master of the Crystal Glass.
JP Francine, Master of
Francine.
Crystal Glass.
And like right when we get in, like right when we're walking up, I'm gonna do the same thing to Niv, and like pull on his a little bit, and keep talking to JP.
Yep. And he's talking away about how terrible it was that you guys are late and that the customers are getting restless. And as you walk through these as you walk through these doors, the space opens up into this enormous showroom, filled with glass cases, row after row after row of glass cases, some of them stacked up high. And in each of these glass cases are multiple glass and crystal pieces. And you see immediately there's something like 60 or 70 guests who are all dressed in beautiful evening attire, sipping bubbly champagne out of these crystal glasses, eating hors d'oeuvres off of crystal plates that are being passed around by a small army of halflings in black vests and black trousers serving them. And you walk in, and immediately the room sort of quiets down, and people turn and they look at you as you walk in. They see JP Francine as well. And he says, my splendid guests, the entertainment is nearly in place. I beg of you your patience. A few more minutes and we shall have everything prepared. Please take a few more glasses of bubbly, take a few more hors d'oeuvres. Enjoy yourselves. Please look at the glass and the crystal wares. Continue to talk amongst yourselves, and in a few more minutes we will be ready with our entertainment of the evening. And people sort of turn back.
As he says that, I'm going to grab some champagne off of the closest guy that walks by.
Grab some hors d'oeuvres.
Just assuming he's talking to us too. I'm just like, okay.
Okay. He kind of shoots you a look at like what are you doing? But sort of leading you guys through, and he takes you through this place. And there's a very old, distinguished man who walks up to the two of you, and he sees you taking the champagne and the hors d'oeuvres, and he's got this sort of long, flowing shirt on and pants on his head, and he says, "Well, it's about time that the entertainment has arrived. I was beginning to wonder if this promised business and pleasure event was turning out to be everything of the former and nothing of the latter."
I'm gonna look at JP, and I'm gonna say that might I have a word in private, in privet actually, in privet.
We can discuss things as we come upstairs. He says, "We need to get up the stairs quickly."
I grab it. I grab his. Well, I'm short. I don't know how. I kind of grab him. I'm like, no, I really need to speak to you.
Oh, okay, for God's sake, do it quickly. For God's sake, do it quickly. We need to get this show on the road.
We need to like walk off, so it's just me and him.
Okay, so you guys kind of take off, go a little bit to the side here. He's leading you to the back of the room where you see there's some more smoky glass doors that are leading to a stairway, and he stops right outside of those doors. Get to it, man. What is it that you'd like to tell me? Hurry.
I'm gonna look at him, and I'm gonna look up at him. It's like, I'm afraid you have us mistaken. We are in fact not
the droid you're looking for.
We are not. We are not the droid you're looking. In fact, we have been sent to discover these underground rings that you've been running.
Give me a deception check.
Okay. And this is why I like being deceptive. Not great. Shit. 12.
He pauses, looks at you. What are you trying to pull on me? Do you want a greater cut, or what are you saying?
Well, we've been hired to do a few jobs. But...
Wait. Are you telling me that you're not the entertainment?
We are not. But I'm willing to not tell my friends about your little ring here for a little bit of a... And I kind of just, I put up my little fingers like, But we might also be able to do a little bit of fighting. We don't have 5.
Oh, this is turning out to be a disaster. This is turning out to be a disaster.
Well, I might remind you that this is not our fault, but we would be willing to help you if you could cut it down to 3-on-3, possibly. I'd have to talk to my friends, my man, and the ranger.
I'll give you 30 minutes to figure this out. 30 minutes. Talk with your friends. 30 minutes. I want to see you back here. I will give you 30% instead of 25.
35. And I'm not going to dicker. It is 35.
Bloody hell, 35. Take your 35. Just get some people who can be entertaining. Okay. He walks back in and starts to sort of converse. Oh, hello.
Is there, how long is this conversation going on for, Matt?
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Is there enough time and the necessary like glass bowls or cups that are opaque for me to start doing like a 3-card Monty thing with some of his glass stuff, trying to entertain his patrons?
Nice.
I'm gonna take a bathroom break real quick. You guys
Absolutely.
Keep
going. Yeah, you can do that. And the guests sort of look at you sort of confused. They don't really quite understand what you're trying to do.
Because I'm just trying to do like a little magic show, sleight of hand, disappearing stuff, and then trying to get them to bet on like a 3-card Monty street performer. I'm the entertainment type stuff.
The old man, the same old man who saw you and slapped you on the back, who comes up to you and says, "Hey, my dear friend, what is it that you're trying to do? This is not the entertainment that I was here to see this evening."
Oh, come on, old timer. Everybody loves a good game of chance. 10 silver, and you get to win 20 back. And I'm doing the 3-card Monty, with this dude's little fucking glass animals and stuff that he has in his shop.
Well, I am a man of risk taking. For the lady, he says, and he points to his the old woman on his arm, and he slaps down 10 gold pieces. I'll up you your measly amount. Go ahead, entertain me.
Okay, and I'm going to, do the thing, all that stuff, but I want him to win the first one.
Okay,
Yeah.
Give me a quick sleight of hand check.
10.
10. Okay. So I mean, you're able to make it such that he's able to pick the right thing, but he kind of suspects that you're kind of allowing him to do that. So he slams his money down and he suggests you to
see,
pay
there
out.
you go, old timer. Easy as that. One more time. Let's go.
Okay, pay out indeed, he says.
So while this is going on, I want to go the other guy was leading us somewhere, right? He was leading us upstairs.
Yeah, yep.
I want to go check out what's upstairs.
Oh, you guys are going upstairs? Okay, yeah. All right.
Okay, go ahead and give me a quick stealth check.
All right. 18.
19. Okay, so you're able to slide out as Francine is up schmoozing his customers, selling glasswares and crystalwares. And you push through these smoky glass doors. It takes you to this winding stairway that brings you up, and eventually you break through into the top level of the building. And here the stairway opens up into this vast auditorium-like space. It's a hexagonal room with black wooden floors, an elevated hexagonal stage in the center, also constructed out of the same blackened wood. In the middle of the stage is a silver pedestal covered with a black cloth draped over an object that hangs halfway down the pedestal. And next to this is a small weathered table with 4 different vials of different colors. There's a red one, a reddish-orange one, there's a blue one, there's a brownish one with green in it, and then there's a sort of a light blue one. And above you, if you look up, you see that there's a massive dome about 40 feet up that's completely white. There's nothing painted on the dome, just a completely blank white dome. And as you're looking up into the sky, you hear this voice, "Oi, what do you want from us?" And you look over, and here you see sitting down on a bench to the side is 5 motley-looking individuals, some of them of races that you've never seen before, sitting there patiently waiting on the bench. And one of them steps forward, a dwarf. He says, "Right, it's about time you showed up. We've been waiting here for a bloody hour. Let's get this show on the road."
So I'll just ask him, so who are you? Who are we fighting? Is that what we're doing? We're fighting?
What is the entertainment? Who are you?
Well,
Are you the ones we've been waiting for this whole hour?
waiting for what? What have you been waiting for?
The bloody fight here. This is the entertainment.
Okay, so you guys have been hired to fight.
We've been hired to fight, yes. What are you bloody doing here?
I'm not sure yet.
If you're not the entertainment, you might as well go down the stairs again. Go find someone who can fight us.
Someone else. Well, so, what's your name?
My name? What's your name?
I'm Caroline Balthazar.
Caroline. The name is Aidinger Rarthith. Mountain Dwarf.
A dwarf.
One of the hardiest folks you'll ever write.
I can tell. Okay, well, let me go back and get my companions. And have you, before I go, have you done this before here?
We've never done this before. We were promised 25% if we came up here.
Oh, okay. And this is you were expecting to fight to the death? Is that the idea?
Sorry, we were told that we'd be given some rules when we came up here.
Ah.
We've been in many kinds of rings like this before.
Okay.
This seems to be quite a classy place.
Okay. All right. Well, let me. Excuse me. Well, I'm gonna get the rest of the guys. I'll be right back.
They hurried up here. The guests are getting restless, as Mr. Francine has already said.
I can imagine. Yeah. Let me. And I'm gonna go back down the stairs.
Okay. You head back downstairs.
I'm gonna find
back through the smoky doors. Yeah.
I'm gonna find Traego here. These guys, they got some guys up here to fight them. Do you really want to do this? I don't think it's a good idea.
Am I able to get that old man to wager some more money?
Yeah, he'll slap down. I mean, did you double his amount?
Right, because he bet 10, so he got his money back in 10 gold.
Yeah. He slaps 20 more down.
20 more gold? Okay, I'll do it again.
Okay.
Do you want another sleight of hand check?
Yeah.
21.
21. Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
This time you're able to sort of quickly pull it off on him in a way that he wasn't expecting, and he picks one, and it's the wrong one.
It's like, oh, better luck next time, old timer.
Oh, that was indeed a good one. This indeed was quite entertaining, I must say. Thank you for this trick. Francine, is it time for us to be heading upstairs now? I grow tired of these parlor tricks, he says.
I guess as I walk down, are we all like me, Niv, and Caroline? We're all like Caroline's walking. We're stepping down from his little conversation. I'm walking away from my conversation.
Well, I want to tell Traego's like,
Yeah.
there's 5 of the guys up there expecting to fight.
Right. Yeah, I kind of gathered that, and since we don't have Bolin or Groggle,
Mm-hmm.
how do they look? Do they look like we could take them?
I only talked to one of them. He's a dwarf, but he looked pretty.
Okay.
We'll say this, Caroline, that you were able to notice there was a few of them that were pretty huge. One looked something like a Goliath. There was a dwarf. It looks like another a drow of sort, and then another kind of elf, and then a strange-looking human being you've never seen before.
Huh. All right. How far away from Niv are we?
Well, you're 30, 40 feet.
I'm gonna make sure because what's my message? I think it's 60 feet.
Yeah, those sound like really good chips.
Yeah. Oh, it's 120 feet. Yeah. I'm gonna.
Can you hear
Is
him?
it just me and Caroline
shit,
like
sorry.
within range here?
That's weird. My mic?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Is it
you're
just
within
me and
range.
Caroline? Or is there
Yeah.
other people surrounding us like really close?
You guys stepped slightly off to the side,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
I'm
you're
gonna message Dan and cast my little cantrip. Like, pack it up and be ready to run.
I'll just give a subtle
Okay.
nod,
All right, I'm walking out.
hoping he sees
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'm walking out.
Carolyn,
Just like,
walk
you know what
out.
I'm doing.
So
Caroline.
what?
Walks out. Yep.
So we're in
Francine
like
sees,
a
sees
we're like a
Caroline.
glass place,
Yep.
like a bunch of fine glass.
Fine glass and crystal, yeah. Franzine sees you turning and leaving, and he catches out of the corner of his eye, and he sort of, excuse me,
I'm walking
runs over
up
to you.
to him. I'm walking up to Franzine.
And he looks at you, and he's panicked now. He's like, what is going on here?
He's got a few friends. All right. He's gonna go grab them. They'll be here in about 20-25 minutes. We just need to stall for a little bit longer. Okay.
Oh, good lord. These guests are at the end of their wits at this point. I said 30 minutes. That was 15 minutes ago. Can you give me 5? I need fighters now.
We'll have 5.
Oh, good lord. Give me 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I give you 10 minutes.
Okay. At this point, can you describe a little bit like where are we in relation to Niv and any big glass statues or like what is it, statues or it's just like lights and stuff?
You got rows of glass cases that are filled with these crystal and glass sculptures and different kinds of wine glasses and serving platters.
This has got television all over it.
Did you say rows of sculptures?
Rows inside of glass cases, yeah.
Do they look heavy?
They look pretty heavy, yeah.
Oh shit. Is there anything? God damn, my mage hand can only do like 10 pounds.
Oh yeah, no, these are heavy stuff. I mean, you could take like a wine glass, a crystal glass.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking to create a distraction.
You could pick up one of those.
I'm gonna walk up to Niv and just kind of put my I can't put my hand on his shoulder because I can't jump that high. But I'm just gonna kind of elbow him, and I kind of elbow, I guess, like in the leg. I don't know, like I don't want to say anything to him. I just want to get his attention.
Yeah. Niv, you feel this little sort of poke in your leg there.
Smacking.
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
I should have done it with the mage hand, but whatever.
What time is it right now, Matt? Like, are we getting close to 10?
Yeah, it's like 9:15.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you guys are still hanging on the bar, just enjoying yourselves. Groggles had quite a few at this point.
Gargle is shit
Fucking
face.
sauce.
He's placid and happy, and the Morning Star is nicely located down by his feet.
Okay. It's only one person. Okay. So yeah, I pause my little spiel there and start talking to the Duke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm gonna say, we have some companions coming. Shall we away and discuss strategy for the coming fight?
And I just ask him, because we're by ourselves now, or is there still did we move
They're
away
kinda
a little
turned
bit
off.
from
You turned
people?
off a little bit. Yeah, yeah.
And I just ask him, what fight? What are you talking about?
I wink at him. The fight that we've been hired to perform in.
Oh,
We need
that
to
fight.
discuss strategy. Yeah, that fight. Do I see anybody trying to listen in?
I'm out the door, by the way.
Yeah,
I am
he's out the
out
door. Is there-
Carolina's gone. Yeah.
the door.
Is there anybody trying to listen in?
No, I mean they go back to their wine,
Okay.
and they're not interested really in you. You're way too low class for them at this point. There.
And I'm gonna kind of tug at him. I'm like, just go along with it.
Okay. And I
I'm gonna kind
Turn
of lead him
back.
towards the door, and we're gonna be talking about I'm just gonna be talking to him like this, but I'm pantomiming, trying to discuss strategies.
yeah, and I'll turn back to the people in the game and say, sorry, I have to cut it short, but there's bigger entertainment on the way that we have to plan for. And I'm going to try and pocket the little figurine thing that I've been messing around with.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check there.
I'll use one of my luck points
Yep.
to roll again. I'll keep the first one then. 19.
19. Down into your pocket. Nobody notices.
And then I will follow Traego out the front door.
And as we're talking, I'm gonna disguise. I'm talking, a lot of hand movement.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna disguise. I'm gonna use Mage Hand, and I'm gonna grab the. Are all the statues in like glass cases?
Yeah, they're in glass cases. You can you'd
But
be able
I
to
could
open the glass cases up from behind. Yeah.
But could I grab just like a wine goblet or something?
You can. I mean, there's
And-
plenty of wine glasses that are
Yeah.
out on the top. These crystal
So,
glasses that people have
I'm
been
gonna use
drinking out of.
It's
Yeah.
a range hand. It's a range of 30 feet. My Mage Hand is invisible because my Arcane Trickster. I'm gonna grab it as far away as I can. I'm just gonna throw it the opposite direction and just
So this
chuck it. Yeah.
flies across the wall and just shatters into hundreds of pieces, and everyone immediately turns, and Franzine is just, oh my goodness! And he runs over to see what's going on and runs over there to check it out. And at that point, you've had a moment of distraction. What do you want to do?
First thing I do, I'm casting Disguise Self on myself,
Okay.
and I'm gonna be a gnome, but just like a regular a gnome about my size. I'm not gonna change my size or anything, but it's gonna be a gnome just in revelry clothes, like a commoner.
Okay. Yep.
And I'm bolting out the door.
Okay. All right, you take off out the door. Niv, you're standing there as Traego runs. Are you following him, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just running behind him, yelling, I thought we were making plans.
Wait! Screams Franzine. He hears you guys leave, and he starts to chase after you, and looks at the guests. Just a moment, please. Just a few more minutes, and the entertainment will be all prepared. And he starts running after you guys. You guys are gone, though. This guy is a lot slower than you are, so he can't quite keep up. But you can hear his voice screaming down the alleyway, come back, come back, come back. Let's run down the alleyway, and you guys are gone.
Dude, that would have been a really fun fight. All right. We don't know where they are. It's nighttime, so
Let's run over to Groggle and Bolin there. What would you like to do there, Bolin?
Well, when it gets closer to 10, I'm gonna go to our predetermined meeting spot.
Okay.
Meet up with Maalethon.
So about 9:30, you need to leave where you are to get over to the keep. And Groggle sort of looks at you and says, "Where are you going?"
I'll buy him. I will buy him. I'll buy him a keg of ale.
Oh, okay. That'll cost you like two gold pieces for that.
I'll just tell him I'll be back in a little bit. Just hold tight and enjoy your evening.
Olin, I love you.
You sound just like him.
What? So one platinum is 10 gold or 100 gold?
10 gold. Yep.
Okay.
10 gold. Yep.
So yeah, I'll make my way over to the keep entrance, right? That's where.
Yep. So you come up to the keep entrance, and there's the drawbridge is up, the gates are down. You see a figure though behind the gates, in the shadows. And as you come closer, you hear him call out to you, Olin.
The gate, but if the drawbridge is up, how's he going to get to the gate?
Is the wait? So he's
there
on
a
the other side.
The gate's down, the drawbridge is up, and from the
shady characters on the other side of the drawbridge.
Yeah, the figure in the shadow. It's Feuerbrandt who's calling out to you.
So I'd have to like wave to him. He can.
No.
He's trying to make sure that's actually you.
Oh, okay.
Activate.
And he sees it. He sees it's you.
Wave.
Yes.
Hi.
Gestures to his man, and you hear this thing. Ting 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 ting. Drawbridge comes down. The gate comes up, and he gestures for you to follow him in. And as soon as you come across the drawbridge, they once again raise it up and lower the gate down, clinking into place as he walks in front of you. Says, "Follow me, Bolin. You must be quick now."
Thank you, Feuerbrandt. I realize this is not standard operating procedure, but this won't take long. I don't have nothing I'm asking is going to be too hefty of a lift. Just need to ask him a couple personal questions imperative to our impending contract that we made.
He's gonna inside check you, but he believes you. So of course, I trust your intentions, he says. Follow me. He leads you through the outer bailey into the inner bailey, takes you up that same stone stairway, ornate stairway, into that same doorway that he opens once again with green energy, leads you in to the main area, into the center of the spiral staircase leading up to the throne room. The guards are there. He nods to them. They open the door. And once again, you walk back into this great throne room that you've been in before, with this massive orb in the center, this orange orb, and these long pillars, this long walkway with these pillars on the side and yellow orbs of energy on top of them. And there up in the front of the room, standing up in front of the throne itself, is Maalethon. And he gestures for you to come towards him.
Okay. I'll walk towards him. Maalethon, I appreciate you taking the time to give me an audience with you. I will not take much of your time, but with the impending, what's it called?
The Troy Decade celebration that is coming along. This is rather unprecedented, but I will I will receive you.
Thank you so much.
Please, keep this quick.
Yes, we spoke yesterday about the blade of the Triumvirate, correct? And how imperative it is that we either find this blade or make sure that it doesn't get into the wrong hands. Is that correct?
From what I've understood from Graywater, the blade of the Triumvirate is the rallying cry of this wing of the knot.
What does this blade look like?
That I do not know. I would assume it's not that different from the other blades that the knot have been using.
So what makes it so special?
Well, there is some sort of legend There's some sort of myth associated with the blade that I myself do not believe. It is said that the founder of the knot, Sagard, used the blade, was struck down with the blade, and that his spirit was somehow infused with this blade. And that somehow the redemption of the knot, the redemption of the line of Sagard will come through this blade. That I do not believe. I am not a man of such mythologies. But it has certainly served as a very convenient rallying cry for certain of those of the knot who are a little more, shall we say, superstitious.
Thank you, Maalethon. In my extensive life that I've lived, and I've lived a long one, I have become very superstitious. I've become very with things that cannot be explained, things that might not be the easiest to come across, the easiest to digest. But in my trance, in my meditation that I had yesterday, I don't know if it was a message from Lathander. I don't know if it was some other celestial being that came to me, but I had a vision of this blade. And I need to understand if it is indeed the blade of the Triumvirate. If we can pinpoint what this blade looks like, I can try to locate it. And I feel that if we can locate the blade, if it's close, we can find the perpetrators that are planning this assassination. And so I wanted to get an audience with you to understand what you know about this blade, if there's any scrolls or if there's any documentation of what the blade looks like, what its magical elements might encompass, or if there's anyone in your grand establishment that could help us make this problem that we're having, that we've been conscripted to protect Tyrius. I think we could potentially eliminate the problem altogether if we could find the blade. What can you tell me about who would know about the blade that you have in your disposal that we could reach out to?
Unfortunately, Graywater himself knows very little of the blade. The blade, if it still exists, is in the hands of the knot. And unfortunately, I do not know where that is. The legend of Sagard is one that is well known in certain circles. I'm sure that the Sincori would be more than willing to help you in that regard.
Thank you. That was my next question. Actually, you lead me right in the direction where my vision is going. I want to make my way to the Sincari Academy. Who would be the most knowledgeable person that I should ask?
If you're looking for the most important person in the Sincari, it is Ildrox, the Unwavering.
Ildrox.
How do you spell that?
Ildrox. Ildrox, the Unwavering. But as you may have discovered, unfortunately, the military side of Theondir and the Sincari, though we work together in some respects, do not always see eye to eye. Our authority does not extend over the Sincari, and neither does that authority extend over us. We are, what should we say, two parallel forces that are directed at the same goal, the preservation of Theondir. We are not necessarily on the same path, but we are directed at the same goal.
I think that will play to our advantage, my friend.
Oh, indeed.
I think I had one more question. No, that's it. Okay. Unless there's anything else you can tell me, my friend, I will head to the Sincari Academy. My goal is to eliminate this threat altogether so we can all have a grand celebration in 2 days and we can all revel the victory.
And for that, you will be handsomely rewarded, as I have promised. But let me be clear to you, my friend. The Sincari is not a part of the military. If you want to be able to get into the Sincari, you must find your own way. There I cannot go.
So you're saying I can't just walk into the academy and ask for Ildrex?
It does not work like that, my friend. You must have certain permission.
From who?
From the Sincari themselves.
And you don't have any personal connections with any of the Sincari that I could leverage?
The Sincari help and aid us. But as far as the Sincari's own workings, those we leave the Sincari to the Sincari. Ildrex runs his own show in the academy. And that I have little to say anything about. They provide protection for us, and we provide the foundation for them to thrive.
Okay. Well, I guess I have another challenge to meet. I'll bring this information back to my compatriots and hopefully we can come to a resolution and hopefully we can find a solution in the next couple of days. I thank you for your time. I hope I wasn't too imposing.
Indeed, thank you for your insight. I am very happy that you are willing to be working and sacrificing for the good of Theondir. May the light of Bahamut shine upon you.
And I'll give him a high five. Just high five. Put up my hand. Yes! I'll walk away.
Nice.
I'll leave.
Feuerbrandt takes you back, leads you out, takes you back to the gate, allows you to go your way.
I'll head back to the tavern.
Okay.
That's all.
You come back and Groggle is lying on the ground. The keg is almost completely gone. And he's singing in that beautiful operatic voice, and there's people all around him laughing and cheering, and he's having the time of his life.
Where are our friends, Groggle?
Yeah, do we know where those two are? I mean, can we meet up?
I don't even think we would know, really.
I mean, we've been at the same bar all day.
But you never said. Did you say you were going to a bar? Because I always thought you were
wherever we are, wherever.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't left the place that we started the day at.
And now it's getting pretty late.
You're pushing on to 11:30 at this point.
I'm gonna stop at a random place and buy another bottle of wine.
Okay, got another bottle of wine. Yeah.
Yep. And then I'm heading back to the barracks.
Okay. About a 45.
I'm not opening the wine yet. I just got a bottle.
Okay, yeah, about a 45-minute walk back to the barracks from the center city again.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Well,
anyone else?
If I know where Bolin is, do I? I mean, yeah, I'll walk there. I want to meet up with them because I could get some food. I wouldn't mind having a drink. Jesus Christ.
Would the barracks have food?
Not at this time of the night.
Not at this time?
No.
Okay,
No.
shit. But I would know that, though. Like, my character
Yeah, you would know that. Yeah, you would know that.
Okay, then when I stop for the wine, I'll grab a bite. I'll grab whatever I can get and eat it on the way back.
Okay, yep. Absolutely. Yep, so you get some food and you're heading back to the barracks.
And I'm just going to tell Niv and Caroline's like, I got some reading I got to do. I'm gonna head back. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. So you head back into the barracks.
And I start doing some reading.
Okay. Yeah.
Is there like food carts or anything, food stalls out for this celebration?
There's some people out on the street selling different odds and ends and different kinds of potato dishes and other things like that.
Yeah, I'll just get some cheap ass street food to eat as we're, I guess, wandering back towards the bar.
Yeah. Give me a good 10 copper for that silver piece.
Oh yeah, how
That'll
much
get
do
you
you
all
want for that?
Yeah, same thing. Give me a silver piece for that.
I want to walk into the bar where Bolin is and sit down and go, just get some food there and say, "What's up?"
I know it's getting late. I'm not tired. I want to go scout out the Sincari Academy.
Really?
Want to come with?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
Let me get some
I'll be
food.
sitting there with them as well.
Okay. I'll tell the entire group what Maalethon told me. I'm not trying to hide anything.
And Traego's back reading his book.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to the Sincari Academy. Anybody can come with.
Because the day for me has been kind of frustrating. Because first I got reamed out by an old woman, and I got this dwarf who wants to fight me for money. Yeah, okay. Let's go.
There's something about the Sincari Academy that, something's not sitting right with me.
Why?
I got a feeling they have a lot of secrets that we can uncover.
There's
something that's not entirely above water.
This is the
Bolin
army. The
Bolin
Sincari
wasn't with us. when
Sincari
we were
is they're like the sorcerers. They're like the magic keepers.
Oh.
They power the perimeter of the city so that nobody can get in or out without their knowledge. They keep the peridot dust. That's where they get their power from.
And with Bolin telling us about this, I'm going to tell him about the at least the outside of the Druid building being all run down, and the fact that Galen has been supplying Wildereth with peridot dust. And why, question why then Wildereth also needed us to get him peridot dust. And it all kind of ties into the Sincari.
Well, I'll tell him about too the table in the house that was burned in, the ring size thing. I'm assuming that has to do with the ring that he has now.
Yep. Something isn't adding up, and I think the Sincari can give us some answers. Who's coming with me?
Right. I will find you.
So the three of you take off.
We want to do it at night.
East.
I mean, is this a good idea, or do you want to get some rest? I mean, we've been burned by not getting a rest before.
I don't need a rest. I only need...
You're drunk.
Oh, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Oh. Okay.
I probably was earlier in the day, but I've been drinking for like 8 hours.
You sobered up for your meeting.
Yeah.
And Groggle, we'll just leave him where he is.
Yeah.
Groggle's on the floor just having the time of his life. Maybe you can buy him another keg, keep him sedated.
Yeah.
Are you talking like a full keg or like a...
Yeah, I bought him a keg.
A party ball.
Party ball.
So, I'll eat and then I'll feed Sora too. She's got to eat.
It's pushing on about midnight at this point. You guys head east, heading out of the central square. You follow this road that goes around the northern part of the keep. And eventually you're able to wind your way through to the single bridge that comes from Central City over to the island where the Sincari Academy is located. And as you enter this part of town, you notice that the buildings are slightly different here. They're much more... They're both simpler and more regal at the same time. And as you get closer to the Sincari Academy, they get fewer and fewer buildings. They get smaller and smaller. And eventually you come to what is the perimeter of the academy itself. And there's a large white wall that goes around almost in an octagonal form around this building. And there's crushed white stone at your feet that crunch as you come up to this. And as you approach the wall, you see shimmering up from behind the wall is this mist-like green energy shield, almost exactly like what covers the entire city of Theondir. And oddly, however, there are no gates or entrances to get into the wall. Behind the wall, through this shimmering green light, you see this massive Gothic tower structure with smooth obsidian-like black stone, floor after floor stacked upon one another with countless windows carved into each of the floors and wrapping around the building. And the tower shoots up into the air, several hundred feet it looks like, before tapering off in a brilliantly blue roof with an opening on the top, out of which shoots a beam of green light directly upwards into the sky, what looks to be several thousand feet. And you notice that is what is informing the rest of the dome, covering the entire city.
Like the Gungans in Star Wars.
Right.
Right? Am I right? Like this huge shield?
Yeah. It's emanating from this single point upwards into the sky and then arching downwards around Theondir.
If I pick up some rocks,
Sincari is named Jar Jar.
Jar Jar. Yeah.
Misa!
If I pick up rocks and throw it at the wall of green, what happens?
When you throw the stones at the wall, it hits the white wall, which there's a sort of this shimmering and pulsating green. Kind of almost like a jelly fruitcake if you'd slap it, right? This kind of this pulsating green energy moves across the entire wall.
I'm just gonna yell. We seek an audience with Eldrax. Open the gate. Right, Eldrax? Yes.
Nothing but the blowing wind. No response.
Like, is there anybody else out? Is there even guards over here, or is it just completely
It's just
empty streets?
It's basically you have this white stone crushed road that goes around, and the white wall with the energy in front of it. That's it. No guards, no towers.
No
Can we estimate how long it would take for us to walk around the wall? I mean, I don't want to walk around the wall if it's going to take us 3 hours.
Probably take you about half an hour.
Maybe we should each walk around in a different direction to see if there's maybe a chink in the armor that we can sneak in or something.
Can I cut you
Meet
off
on
for
the
a
other
second?
side.
Sure. Hold on. Yeah.
I'm fostering a dog right now. I'm gonna take him out to the bathroom.
Okay.
I'm not a part of this anyway, but that's
Oh.
I'll be gone for a couple minutes.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good. Yep. Why don't all of you, all three of you, give me an investigation check while you begin to walk the perimeter.
Natural 20. 23.
15.
I got a 15.
So as you guys walk around, Niv, Caroline, you don't notice anything.
Are we
Except for-
splitting, or are we all going the same direction?
I mean, I'm going to go one way if you want to go the other way. It's up to you.
I'll just stick with Bolin. I mean, what the hell?
Okay, I'm going to go the other way just to cut the time in half.
Okay. Yep.
So that I'll just
So as
move
you-
up
as you-
to our side.
As you walk around, all three of you strangely notice that as you walk around this tower, the tower itself, you don't have any perspective change on the tower. It seems as if the tower is twisting with you almost. You have the same exact line of sight on the same exact part of the building as you are walking around it, as if the building's not changing. Even though you are, in fact, walking, you can see relative to the rest of Theondir that you're moving. The tower seems to be staying perfectly static with you. Bolin, you get about 40, 50 feet and you notice that there is a section of the wall that looks as if there is something of an archway there, but there's still a white wall around the archway. But there's something of an indentation where there would be an archway that's filled in with wall that looks exactly like the rest of the wall, except this slightly embossed archway there.
If I throw rocks at them, at that archway, is it real or is it like an illusion?
No, the archway is real, but it's the same sort of energy disperses, a green energy pulse when you hit it with a rock. So the same sort of energy is covering that as well.
So if we walk like right up to it, can we feel like an energy coming off of it? I mean, is it like?
Do you want to walk up and touch it?
Yes.
The arm disintegrates.
So,
Yeah, sure.
Caroline, as you walk up and you place your hand on the wall, it begins to shimmer and pulsate even more where your fingers are, moving around your fingers and sort of almost like sparks shooting off. And Caroline, you hear something. The others hold on and remove your headpiece for a second. So you hear the same voice you heard when you entered the city of Theondir, as you walk through this ritual that the Sincari had done for you, where they allowed you to pass through, and you hear the same voice. You recognize the voice, and the voice says to you, "Which of the creatures now seeks the honor of passage into the Sincari Academy?" And there's a long pause.
And then I out loud I say, "I, Caroline, seek passage into the academy with my companion."
There's still a long pause.
Or companions, I should say.
Yeah. And the voice comes back to you. "Passage shall not be granted." And your hand sort of bounces back from the wall. You don't take any damage from it, but your hand is sort of shot off the wall. No, Tim's looking at something else.
All right.
Hello?
Hello.
All right, good.
Yep.
Okay, guys. So wasn't painful, but it's asking. You hear a voice. It's the same voice. When I put my hand on it, I heard the same voice that I heard when I entered Theondir. And I think maybe it's looking for a specific answer to a specific question. So it might be a good idea for Tim. Might be a good idea for Bolin. I mean, for you to try it.
When you entered, you mean the cloaked figures?
No, I mean when I came into the city. Yeah.
Yep. The ritual that he went through, the same ritual you guys went through.
I wasn't sure if he entered the same way as we did.
Yeah, he did.
So, okay. I'm going to grab my ring. Is it warm? Is it just normal? Or is it going crazy or what?
The ring is super hot at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. As you pull it out, you see that it is glowing. It is brilliant.
Okay.
So is this where we met up? Was at that fake arch thing then, or we met up and then went back there, or are these two?
Yeah, I would assume that you probably made your way around until you hooked up with us.
Okay.
So I'm going to touch I'm going to grab. Can I hold the ring, or is it too hot?
It's not burning your skin, but it's hot. I mean, it's a little painful, but you can still hold it. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to hold it and just touch the green thing with the ring.
And as you hold it up, the ring sort of sticks to the wall, almost like a magnet, right? And it begins this light begins to come off of the ring. What are you going to do, Bolin? Are you?
I'm going to try and pull it off. Can I pull it off?
Okay, as you reach to grab it, your fingers so stick to the ring as well, and you can see now the energy begins to pulsate around your fingers where you are holding the ring, and you hear a voice in your head, and you recognize the voice. It's the same voice of the woman who you met when you came through the archway into Theondir.
What?
Wow, she's got a lovely singing voice.
That was amazing timing.
That is awesome.
Oh gosh.
Well, that was Frankie.
It's Frankie.
Oh man. Oh.
Nice one, Frankie.
Oh. Oh.
You and Matt worked it out ahead, right?
Yep. Kick the dog now. Oh.
Sorry. Continue.
And so you hear the same exact voice of the woman. And she says to you, which of the creatures now seeks the honor of passage into the Sincari Academy?
Which of the
There's a pause.
Do I have to say it out loud, or can I think an answer?
You can try to think an answer.
So if I'm going to think an answer to you, I would not want them to hear it.
Okay.
So shut your mics off,
Okay.
please. Can they hear me? Are you good? Okay. So I'm gonna think in my head. I am High Elf Bolin Thaesragoth of the High Elves of fuck. What was my of the? Oh yeah. I am High Elf Bolin Thaesragoth of the High Elf Council, requesting an audience with Ildrax.
And there's a slight pause. And you hear the voice again say, In conventu trium lux libera. Genavin.
Do I understand what that means?
Yeah, you do recognize that. It's the same thing you heard before. In the meeting of three, light made free.
Okay.
And the ring is immediately shot off the wall, burning to the touch again. Shot off the wall into your hand. There's another pause. In your head you hear, passage shall not be granted.
Okay. So we're not going to get in.
Great. You want to tell us what happened?
The voice said the same thing. In the meeting of three, light is made free, or something to that effect. And then she said, passage will not be granted. We're missing something with this ring, guys.
Well, there's
Caroline,
there's
what
three
does
of
the
us.
ring?
Do we
like,
all have
the
to
ring?
touch the ring?
So the ring script. Oh, you know what?
You know what the ring says.
I do. So here. So is the ring off the wall? Do you have it now?
Yeah. Yes, I have the ring in my hand.
Okay. So the inscription on the ring is, "Only in death comes true rest." So that's what it says. historical lore of God Bahamut. Bahamut, is that your lord?
No. It's like Bahamut is like the top of the food chain as far as gods are concerned. Like at least my light gods. I worship Lathander, who I think is a lesser god of Bahamut. What are we missing?
All right, so it asked you which creature seeks entry, right?
Yeah.
Are you guys still at the Sinkari thing?
Yeah.
We're trying to get in.
Oh no, it's like 5 days. We've finished.
How's your reading going here?
Well, you gotta tell me what I'm reading. I'm reading my book that I bought.
Yeah.
Do you remember what book I bought?
Should we jump over to Traego for a second? Yeah. You're reading
The Ways of the
interesting
Sinkari.
book, if I remember.
Yeah, it's called The Ways of the Sinkari.
The Ways of the Sinkari. Traego's sitting in his room, reading.
Like I've been trying to get a time to actually sit down and read this goddamn thing since I bought it.
It is a fascinating read. Let's take a 2-minute break so Niv can be a part of this when we explain what actually is going on in the Ways of Sinkari. 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right, so we let's get back to where we were. We just jumped back from our Carolon, Niv, and Bolin, who were around the Sinkari Academy. We jumped back over to Traego, who is now reading back in the soldiers' barracks. Traego, go ahead and tell me a little bit more what you're doing.
Well, I bought that bottle of wine, and so after the kind of a shit day of not really getting a whole lot done, and really needing to sit down with this book to kind of suss out what the hell is happening, I'm just gonna. It's called The Ways of the Sinkari. I bought it way back in second or third.
Harbor.
Yeah, Helder Harbor.
Oh, wow.
Just a random book, which I'm very impressed Matt was able to put in front of me. Does it have an index or like a table of contents?
It does have a table of contents. As you begin to peruse through the table of contents, you see that there's some chapters on the history and the background to the Sinkari. There's a few chapters with some of the major tenets of the Sinkari, some of their doctrines, some of their lifestyles, practices, etc., etc., etc. And as your eyes continue to move down the table of contents, you get into chapter 13, which takes an entirely different direction. Because the title of chapter 13 is a title that doesn't belong in any book. It's one of these amazing medieval titles that you see in sort of medieval manuscripts, or I should say later sort of modern 15th century books. Chapter 13 is called On Transorbification, or Reflections Regarding the Nature and Phenomenology of Dynamic Metaphysical Reorientation of One or Several Transitional Bodies in Relation to Established Fields of Potent Energy with Verbal and Somatic Notation Included.
That's the chapter.
That's chapter 13.
Do I understand any of those words?
No. And as your eyes continue down,
Transorbification, okay.
On transorbification, or reflections regarding the nature and phenomenology of dynamic metaphysical reorientation of one or several transitional bodies in relation to established fields of potent energy with verbal and somatic notation included. And chapter 14.
Is there an abbreviation for that?
Yeah.
On transorbification.
Okay, I would have been really impressed if that actually came out to something like really
Some
intelligent.
code.
That would have been funny, yeah. Okay.
And
the other chapters.
Chapter 14 is just simply entitled The Breath of Haleth. And that is where the book ends, with chapter 14. And that is The Ways of the Sinkari, the book you've been carrying with you since Heldu Harbor.
Yeah. I'm going to be going to the transorbification.
Okay.
Because that seems
Chapter
very
13.
interesting. Yeah, chapter 13.
Chapter 13. And we'll say after a good hour of reading or so, you don't really understand much. This is jargon.
My intelligence is 13, so it's pretty decent, but not.
Well, I mean, actually, why don't you go ahead and actually give me a straight up intelligence check. Actually, no, let's go Arcana. Why not? Arcana.
I'm so glad I switched to Arcana with Insight.
Give me an Arcana check.
Yeah, not great. What is that? 9 plus.
Whoa.
It'll be 14.
14. Okay. What you can pick up from this is that chapter 13 is giving some kind of description of some kind of spell, some kind of conjuration cantrip that is meant to be used by a sorcerer or a wizard. And as you begin to read, what you can pick up is that in one way or another, this spell allows you the possibility to move through energy fields related to the Sankari. And there's some other things, components involved. You understand some of that, and other things. But obviously, this is something that a wizard probably or a sorcerer would have to look at more closely.
Damn. Wish I would have rolled better. All right.
Yeah, what the hell happened to that nat 20 you had earlier?
Yeah, right? 2 in a row and then a fucking nat 1. All right. And can I tell any of the components? Do I understand at least that much?
Yeah, I could say with a 14 you do. The components that are required for this to work, there's a verbal component, a somatic component, and a material component. The verbal component is, strangely enough, there's this phrase that needs to be repeated.
Uh-oh.
Somatic, a wave of the hand. Material component, though, is a pinch of peridot dust and precious stones in varied amounts and value in gold pieces, depending upon the spell level, which the spell then consumes. So level 1 wizard, gold pieces.
A variety of gems? A variety of gems?
Precious stones in varied amounts. So it can be any kinds of precious stones. Or the rubies, or diamonds, or which the spell consumes.
Okay. So you got the little verbal thing, the hand wave, and then the stones. Do I know how much the stones need to be worth?
Yeah. So it's actually the spell consumes it's a degrading scale. So at level 1, sorcerer wizard is 100 gold pieces worth of stones. Level 2, 80, 360, 440, 520, 6 plus. 60. It's free. So 6 plus wizards don't need to have any stones.
So if they would use this spell at a 6th level, or do they have to be level 6?
A 6 level wizard.
Okay.
Or 6 level.
4 is 40.
Yep. 5 is 20. 6 is 0. 6 plus is 0.
Okay.
That's based on the wizard level.
Yeah. So the wizard, if the wizard was level 6, they would just need the peridot dust. And the
the verbal, somatic, and the peridot dust.
Okay.
And when I'm done kind of figuring this out, what time how long did this take me? So 4 in the morning?
It took you a good hour to read that part. So yeah, I mean you're looking at it's probably pushing on 2 in the morning at this point. You haven't even looked at chapter 14.
We have 2 days before.
Now we do.
Now we do.
Yeah. When the next morning, you'll have 2 days.
I'm gonna keep reading the next chapter then.
Okay. Yep. It's gonna take you about another hour. Give me another Arcana check.
Arcana. That's way better. Is it 15 plus I think it was 5? Yes, 20.
Okay, so in this chapter, the breath of Heleth, you understand a lot more of this. For some reason, there's less jargon involved in this one. But what you can pull out of this chapter is in fact giving you a description of a second spell, and this is a spell that's also can only be used by a sorcerer or a wizard. But as you're reading it, it's quite a powerful spell. In fact, what you can understand from it is that it also requires verbal, semantic, and material components. A small handful of peridot dust, a fragment of fresh and clean white linen, both of which are consumed by the spell. It happens instantaneously, 150-foot range. But as you read, so you pull out of this spell, you get something of a description like this: a bright green streak flashes from your open hand, from which you throw the peridot dust to a point within range, and then blossoms with a low roar into a brilliant green, glowing ball. Each creature in a 30-foot radius sphere centered on that point must make a dexterity saving throw. A target takes 8d8 radiant damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. The radiance moves through all non-magical objects to strike all creatures within the radius. And higher levels, when you cast a spell using a spell slot of 4th level or higher, the damage increases by 1d8 for each slot above 3rd. It's called the breath. The breath of Heleth, a 3rd level. Level evocation spell.
Evocation spell. Shit. That's okay. Do you have this that you could send me, or like,
yep,
we'll
I
talk?
can. I'll send it to you later.
I'm taking notes, but like I can't write fast enough. So 8d8 on a failed, and then we'll go from there. So basically, it's just like a pretty powerful spell.
Yeah.
All right. And what level was it? 3rd.
3rd level evocation.
3rd level.
The other one, transorbification, is a cantrip.
Oh. So as an arcane trickster that has access to wizard spells and cantrips, would I qualify for that?
That's a good question.
And I'm fine. I'm not a wizard, but I'm just kind of dabbling.
You could try it, but it seems like it is restricted to wizards or sorcerers.
Okay. All right, I'm fine with that because I'm more like a self-taught, like just fascinated with magic kind of guy, and probably won't have the. Okay.
Matt, you said it's an abjuration spell. Is that what you said?
Evocation. The breath of Heleth is evocation, and transorbification is a conjuration.
Okay, I'm just looking at the different schools of magic. Okay.
So when you finish that chapter about the breath of Heleth, that one went a little quicker. You're now pushing about 3 in the morning.
3 in the morning, and you need 6 hours for a long rest, at least, for sure.
8
right?
hours. 8 hours for a long rest. Yeah.
I thought it was like 6 hours of sleep, and like you could do 2 hours of like resting, kind of reading.
Bolin can do 4 hours of meditation and 4 hours of minor activity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. At that point, I'm tired. I've been drinking wine.
You're gonna call it a night. Okay.
I have like a half bottle of wine left that I could finish in the morning. We got a couple days left before we can. I'm fine with that.
I don't know. I say maybe we go back and sleep on it. Maybe Traego has something we can. Maybe he has a key.
Yeah.
Come back tomorrow.
I mean, I'm pretty exhausted at this point.
It's getting pretty late. You guys start wandering back. I'm assuming you're going to cross back and head back to the keep.
Mm-hmm.
Meet up with Traego there. You come pushing in the door. It's past 3 in the morning at this point.
Before we get like out of sight or anything, can I look back? Do I see? I mean, from looking up the tower instead of just at the wall, is there windows, lights? Anyone paying attention to what's going on outside? Anything?
Row and level of window after window after window.
A bunch of guys sitting up on like the 13th floor, just like, look at these motherfuckers trying to get in like 6 times. All right, we're taking bets. They got to get in this time. Nope.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no one in the windows, no one on the top of the wall.
Give me an investigation check, or perception check.
11.
Nah, you don't see anything.
Okay.
Eventually, you guys make it back. Traego had already called it a night. You come in, you see he's lying there with a book on his lap and an empty bottle of wine.
No, half empty.
Half empty bottle of wine next to him, sleeping like a baby. You guys crawl into bed to try and get some sleep, and you're able actually to get a pretty decent night of sleep. You drift into a sort of deep serenity, peaceful state. Your minds, your bodies sort of float off, and you actually get some pretty decent sleep.
Matt, I'd like to, while I'm in my trance, kind of recovering or doing whatever, I want to pray to Lathander and ask him for guidance. Not necessarily expecting a response, but more of I need guidance on how to proceed.
Okay,
I'm stumped.
Awesome. How are we going to frame that prayer? What do you want to say to him?
My journey has stalled. The light that you have shown me seems to be dimming. I need guidance. Please help me find the path back. That's all.
Okay. So as the rest of you are sleeping, as Bolin is praying to Lathander, the sun begins to rise in the east in the morning after your night of sleep. And just as it comes over the side of the wall of Theondir Keep and enters into the barracks, as it comes across the island where the Sincari Academy is located, the sun breaks over the top of the tower. A single ray of light shoots through the window of the soldiers' barracks. And Bolin, you open your eyes from your prayer. You see the ray of light landing on the book that Traego is holding in his hands as he sleeps so beautifully. And the sun begins to...
I am a pretty motherfucker.
And the sun begins to come in more and more as it gets brighter and brighter. And it feels only like minutes that you guys have been sleeping. As the morning really begins to creep in the room, the whole room is illuminated, and the light around the book grows brighter and brighter. And this peaceful, serene sleep that you're in is abruptly interrupted as there's a bang to the door. The door flies open, and there standing in the doorway is the same soldier you met down in the mess hall. He's tall, regal looking, fully dressed in armor and fully armed. And he says to you, "Gentlemen, on your feet. Feuerbrandt requests your presence in the keep gardens immediately. Graywater has disappeared."
Again?
That's what we'll call it. That's what we'll call it a night.
Ah.
And